It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. Kimmer Show podcast number 531. It's Monday as we speak, the 20th of February, 2023. Anyway, how's good to have you aboard. It's feeling a little more like spring, but enough of silliness later. Pete Davis, sidekick producer and sports raconteur extraordinaire. And, in fact, when's Holy Crap at Sports? Later, I'm guessing, today?
Later.
Best podcast in America. And Flounder, the mechanical mangler at the controls here at El Condo Flounder. Now, so are we on YouTube right now?
We sure are.
We are. And are we on Rumble right now?
Yes, we are.
Okie doke. And if you want to get all the connections to all the stuff we do, the radio thing, and everything else, thekimmershow.net.
That's correct.
And you can also
Everything
get a Venmo thing here to help us out, and a PayPal and Patreon.com. And I got a couple quick thank yous here to do. First of all, and Flounder, maybe if you could do a little camera thing. I brought treats. Now, don't get used to this because this is really weird. First, I brought extra candy bars for the boys. I usually bring them a little teeny one. Now, look at this. Oh, first thing. The other day, you can probably see this. This is a bag of Celentano, I guess it is. Celentano beef ravioli things. And the other day at the store, just out of spur of the moment thing, I was looking for some kind of different thing, something or other. And there was a 2-for-1 deal, and there's like $4 or $5, whatever it was, $4, 2 for 1. And I got a beef ravioli and a cheese ravioli. Now, the directions on how to cook them: don't defrost. For stovetop, boil 2 quarts of water, add the boiling water, simmer, microwave, put a little cup of water, boom, ba-bam. Anyway, and so I did that. And I did it the right way, but they all came out all soggy and just, I was not impressed. I thought, maybe that I don't remember what ravioli is about. Anyway, so I'm not even going to try these. So do you want these, Flounder or Pete?
No.
Nobody wants them?
No.
Now, can't you bake them? Couldn't I put these on a cookie sheet and bake them?
I have no idea.
Well, I'll try it. I guess I'll take those.
You guys were this close to meatloaf. My sister
I don't know. I could maybe.
made fantastic meatloaf, and she goes,
How
sure
would
you
you
don't
know?
want to bring some for the boys?
I assume you
and
don't
I
eat
said,
it.
no, because I'm going to have to go by my apartment first, and it'll spoil in the car.
No, I mean the fact that you've never wanted any of my meatloaf, which is probably the best meatloaf in America that anyone's
I've
ever
had your
freaking
meatloaf.
had.
I've had
You
your
have.
meatloaf.
Oh
I've
my
had
God,
your
you
meatloaf.
dirty lion
I've-
bastard! All right, no, not fair. Hey, who am I? You're a dirty lion bastard. But
I didn't want to give y'all tainted meatloaf. So I didn't bring
know
it.
anything that comes out of my house, you want nothing to, and I don't blame you. I'm just ragging you because I wouldn't either. If you were and you said you want some of my food I've made, nah, I'm good, thanks. Anyway, so back to this.
We got to make something up here.
What?
And this is my fault. I forgot. Are you tired of arriving to surprises at your weekend cabin?
This weekend I was going to go to the cabin, and I don't like surprises.
Pretty soon.
What am I going to do about it?
Pretty soon, this is
What
going to
can I
be
do
me.
about it?
Have a mountain home you're having trouble maintaining? Pretty soon, that's going to be me.
There you
Call
are,
North
baby.
Georgia Intendancy. We can manage your North Central Georgia vacation, weekend, or rental house so you can relax at yours. Visit us at ngaintendancy.com or call 770-595-6664. That's 770-595-6664. NGA Intendancy. These people know how to handle your house.
That's right. Don't forget it. Okay, boys. I did another thing of those stupid sugar cookies. They were so good last week. You didn't like them?
I'm not a sugar cookie fan, but those were good.
But I made another batch just for the hell of it, and these are freaking perfect. I mean, they were better than even in the last ones. And I can't eat them all. My appetite, I'll do like that last batch. I brought you. I think I saved 2 for me, and that was all I could handle. I mean, really. Now these I made 1.5 size times, by the way. So these are. But I have your select. You can take your choice, Flounder. If you would they did. It came apart. I put some more icing on it. That was supposed to be. Something entirely different than what it is, or what it looks like. Oh mercy! Anyway, there's 2 of them wrapped each, and oh my! Oh, there we go. Well, that was supposed to be a set of knockers and another thing, but anyway, it's frosting on sugar cookies.
That's for Flounder.
So
right
there you are. All right.
That's a lot of calories, man. Right there.
Anyway, but they came out perfect. I mean, they're just delicious. Okay. I hold everything. We got we got actual show here today. I promise. It's Mardi Gras. I totally and
I know.
completely
It is Mardi Gras.
had no. I didn't remember until I read about the shooting, and I of some Mardi Gras in New Orleans, crime
Okay.
capital of the world. Well, anyway, but my second daughter was born in New Orleans. I used to, we used to give the whole staff when I worked there the day off.
She doesn't
and I
live
did-
there, does she?
Oh, not anymore. Who? My final wife does.
You have no family there.
I have an ex-family there.
Well, that place can sink into the sea.
Yeah, as
for
far
all
as
I
I'm
care.
concerned, yeah, that's right. No, it's a slimy, dirty,
it's a
stinking,
horrible place.
stupid. I mean, just it's a horrible place to be. Horrible.
Outside of the old Absinthe House, the rest
Well,
of it
I mean,
can
there's
sink.
9 places that are fun. The Commander's Palace, they
Yeah.
treated me like a king of Commander. I walked into, I was a TV guy in America, and I walked into Commander's Palace. Oh, Mr. Peterson, come into the garden room over here, and they bring me. I mean, gee, yeah, So no, but anyway, so we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Also, tomorrow is my starter wife's, ex-wife's birthday, and happy birthday to her. They have a big party out in Colorado. It's President's Day. We'll talk more about that. Of course, the bank's closed and post office, things like that.
Yes.
We got a story about the President-elect set, the sniffer of little girls, with his trip. Some cute comments about the Babylon Bee about it. I haven't mentioned the Babylon Bee in a while, and there's a few funny headlines that might give you a chuckle today. We'll talk about Twitter reacting. I guess Kevin McCarthy is now... the speaker is now backtracking on whether he wants to reveal all the video of the January 6th mostly peaceful Ashley Babbitt murdered by a rogue cop day. And you got to wonder what the hell's going on there. Why wouldn't that all of a sudden? What's the? I don't see the link. Anyway, we'll talk. I'll ask you because I don't get why he would do
They're
that.
all corrupt.
Get rid of them then. Get rid of all of them. Jeez. Jimmy Carter. Hospice care, the end is near, and he said, I want to go home and die at home. And we'll talk a little about Jimmy Carter, too. In fact, I had the strangest memory. Do you remember the name of, when Jimmy Carter was running, there was a very famous communications director, Kleinstein? That's not it, but he had a famous communications director that he worked with to try to teach him how to talk to America as opposed to having a southern Georgia accent.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and his communications director was I can't remember his damn name, but he was a very famous
Not
at the time.
Jody Powell.
No, not Hamilton Jordan. Neither of those. There was another guy, an expert that he brought in to teach him how to speak to the public, to be more recognizable as an American to all the people instead of Southerners. And I remember one of the things. Jimmy Carter had the strangest habit. We all have, if we're trying to pause to think of things, we all use a phrase like, well, when you get right down to it, or when you come to think of it, or there's something that you say that if you're trying to stall to get the next thought in or whatever, we all have kind of those little things. Jimmy Carter, for some reason, changed the enunciation of a 3-word phrase, which is very famous and we've all used a million times, or at least it did many years ago. And that phrase is, as you know, if I were going to say, as you know, America is a country based on the so-and-so and the so-and-so. Well, as you know, we all say, as you know. Okay, Jimmy Carter would say, as you know, as you know. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Isn't that amazing? Why did I think of that all of a sudden? Jimmy Carter in hospice care, as you know, and that's the way he and I wish I could. Somebody on Google, come on, tell me, or not? I mean, a Rumble or someplace, tell me, or YouTube. What was the communications director he had back then?
Richard Kleindienst?
No, that was the Attorney
was
General. I'm
Nixon.
thinking of. But it was Kleinman, or it was a. Oh God, I can't remember.
Anyway.
Very. Anyway, whatever. So we'll talk about Jimmy Carter also, and I have great memories of Jimmy
I have
Carter.
a great memory of Jimmy Carter.
We'll talk about that. President's Day, Jimmy
2.
Carter.
I have 2 great.
Well, there you are.
No, I have 3 great memories of Jimmy Carter.
Oh my God, man.
One involves my dog.
Well, we need to hear that story. We'll save it for. Okay,
Tease.
tease. A lot of stuff in sports I want to talk about, including Tiger. I'm sorry, it's my fault. I did a mental thing, which everybody does, and it was wrong and it was stupid. Also, the take on Tiger and the tampon. I have a great sidetrack commentary about the issue from a hot babe who looks like a centerfold playmate.
Where is
sports chick, golf chick, sports chick. We'll talk about it. Pete will tell us about banning books. In fact, I was reading about this Roald Dahl, and I mean, I know Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, is that okay? But anyway, there's a whole thing going on now in the literary world, and it just goes to show you how they're just changing words and changing meanings and changing art and changing literature. I mean, they're making it up. They're erasing history.
Real liberals would be apoplectic
horrified
about this 20 years ago. And now it's like, oh, yeah, we need to do this.
We need equity of no more fat. You can't say the little fat kid.
I'm telling you right now, go to your bookstore, go to Amazon. If there's a classic, you need to buy it in hardcover that lasts for generations, because these some bitches are changing everything.
And again, like I said, it used to be the liberals would be horrified. They'd be in the streets.
Yeah.
I mean, really, if you're, I guess if you're under the age of like 30, you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Right.
I mean, I promise you. Remember the movies? What was the book burning movie with the hot blonde?
Fahrenheit 451.
451 or whatever. Yeah, I mean, that it's real. Anyway, we'll talk more about that. There is a secret word of the day. If you say the secret word, you get $50. And a duck would come down and go, Groucho, God, what? You bet your life, you bet your line, or you bet your life. I say this, George Fenneman. Thank you, Groucho. Secret word today is, and they would show it and say, if you say the secret word, you get $50. Groucho says, all right, where are you from? Anyway, we have a secret word today, and if you say it, or if I feel that you've thought it, you're going to win $50. That's coming up. Also, we'll have the Penis High School, which is kind of a big thing now. We'll talk about more issues with the artificial intelligence. Workers at Amazon are getting some bad news. I got a bunch of stuff here and all kinds of newsy stuff and everything. Let's kind of do a quick couple of thank yous, first of all, from our friend Stephen in Gainesville, Georgia. And he sent us a very nice donation at Kimmer Media, Post Office Box 1432, 1432, Alpharetta, Georgia, 30009. And Stephen is very kind. He said a couple times now, he sent us a very nice donation and a card with nothing in it, a total blank card of Snoopy riding a bicycle with a little the canary girl in the back there, a canary guy. What's his name?
Woodstock.
Woodstock, yeah. Anyway, and so I appreciate it, Stephen, because I'm going to give this to my granddaughter, send it to her because it's blank, and I'll write something in it, which I thought was very nice. Also, from this is kind of sad, and it's going to be a hard weekend. Cindy writes in, my birthday is coming up, but it happens to be the day that Sweet Jackie crossed the Rainbow Bridge. I don't need a happy birthday. I need to tell you, thank you for sharing him with all of us that love you. He will not only be forever in your heart, but mine as well, along with so many others. Love, Cindy. Isn't that sweet? And she's thinking of other people other than herself on her special day, too, coming up. So anyway, so thank you, Cindy, and that was very nice. Okay, now, so this was really a different. I'll try to show this up on the camera here in a second. We got a very nice card and a very nice note, and it was for Happy Valentine's Day from James, and it said, "Love your podcast. Wish you guys were on the radio." So do we, James. Honest to God, we can't get a job. It's because of me. I know that no one's hiring me. Especially since our former boss just rehired a guy for 3 freaking years who shouldn't be working.
He sucks. Yeah, I know.
We should have that freaking job.
I know. That guy sucks.
Jesus.
No one likes him. Everybody hates him, and yet he's just got a 3-year contract. Well, those days are over. I'm moving to the mountains.
It's done.
My radio days are over.
I mean, honestly.
I'm not doing that commute.
And again, and I'm not trying to, poor pitiful me. If I were popular enough, I'd be working. I guess. I mean, the only way to look at it is if they wanted me on the air, I'd be hired on the air. But there are a lot of reasons no one's ever going to hire me again, even though every show we ever had over there, or I had on the early one, was #1 by a mile. Anyway, whatever. But again,
mediocrity runs the world.
That's why we want this podcast to work. So if you can help support us on the podcast,
well, you're a real conservative. Eric Erickson's not a real conservative. Everybody knows
he's
that.
He's a broadcaster.
I wish no harm to the man, but he's not very good.
Yeah, he's a radio announcer. He's a radio announcer who does a thing, and he's on the radio. He broadcasts on the radio, and that's all you have to be
anymore.
But
he's got a job, and we don't.
So. Yeah, that's right. So,
but if you want real conservatism, once podcasts go, it's over.
Yeah. So a very nice note from James. But look what also he sent me. This is so cool, and I'll explain it, and then I'll show it very quickly.
Lord, how many of these do you have?
Well, I swear, I know. But since we can't really take phone calls, I do want to thank you to people who go to the trouble of doing this. This is what's called a day wallet for when you don't want to carry a big wallet. It's a little note in it. And he made a Marine Corps wallet out of like
human
paper,
skin
with Marine Corps decals on it. Look at this. It's a little teen. I'm going to go up and show it on the camera.
Skin.
It's that unbelievable. Look at this. It's a Marine Corps wallet. Can they see that?
They can now. Do it one more time. Oh, yeah.
And it opens up and it folds like this, and you open it up again. It's like the damnest thing you've ever seen.
Is that Mr. Dahmer send you that? Or?
I don't know, James. That's just so cool. And I've never seen one.
It's from Wisconsin.
And it's called a day wallet, as though I should know what that is, because I'm a Marine, so I should know, and I don't.
Skin wallet is what it is.
It lathers it puts lotion on itself, Oh, God.
Puts lotion on the skin unless it gets the hose again.
Okay, a couple of things. It's President's Day, and I have some amusing facts about presidents of these United States. Would that be all right? Well, what's the matter?
Scott says it's a Kimmer regifting segment.
Wait, regifting? Wait a
minute.
minute.
The card, you're regifting the card.
Well, yes, I am. Did we come up with the communications director?
No.
I swear to God, it was under Jimmy Carter.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway, it was communications helper and whatever. In fact, I think the guy may have used to work for Nixon. Okay, President's Day is today, which means pretty much everything's closed. Although I took the back route down here to stay off of 400. And it was more crowded than ever, and nobody's working. Everything's closed.
It's President's Day.
I know. Well, whatever, but it was more crowded than ever, and I realized the problem was I was behind a woman in a headscarf, in a whole head thing. And
Turban?
it was a burqa thing, not a total burqa, but like a damn near burqa. And she just killed. And then she got to just block the traffic because she decided to make a turn to nobody. It's just unbelievable. Anyway,
Joseph Lester.
No.
That's who the communications.
No, it's not. It was a communications advisor.
He's probably
for Jimmy
thinking
Carter.
of Coolidge.
And I remember.
Anyway.
I can't. I'm sorry. I'll try to find out later. But again, it's.
He's thinking of Warren Harding.
His communications advisor or speech, whatever helper.
Herbert
what do they
Klein.
call him? Yes, Herbert Klein.
Gwendolyn knew.
Gwendolyn, you are a doll, a Kimmer babe.
You get this
and
empty
you rock.
Nestle
You
Crunch
have the Nestle
wrapper.
Crunch wrapper. Give us an address. We'll send it to you, and an autographed picture. I'll send you a picture
What?
of me and Jack
Have those?
if I can find one. What's that?
You have autographed photos?
No.
Okay.
But I have photos. I'll just autograph one and send it to her. So
But
yes,
then
I do.
then you just lied to
Well,
me.
they're not autographed right now, but they're going to be, you bastard. Jeez, tough crowd, criminy. Jeez, that's the last time we take
lied to me.
4 days off in a row. It's
What was it?
a little extra grumpy.
Throw Mama from the train? You lied to me. Spang.
Bobby!
I should have a skill in here. Just
What was
bang.
his name? We used to call him.
I forget what it is.
Sorry. Oh, God. All right. President stuff. Leslie Lynch King Jr. was a model for Cosmopolitan, appearing in a cover illustration he posed for in 1942 and met his soon-to-be First Lady wife through modeling. Well, Leslie Lynch King Jr. is, of course, Gerald Ford, was a model for Cosmo.
I did not know that.
And a football player at Michigan. Herbert Hoover invented his own sport. He called it Calvin Ball. He and his personal physician invented their Hoover Ball. The game was a cross between volleyball, tennis, and dodgeball, except more terrifying because they played it with a medicine ball, which will hurt you. If you get hit in the face with that, you're going to know.
I heard Hoover Ball sucked.
Oh, hey. Thank you. Let's see.
Clinton
Theodore
ball.
Roosevelt had a lock of Abe Lincoln's hair that was contained in a ring he wore of Abe Lincoln's hair in a ring. God. He also, I had no idea about this. Theodore Roosevelt actually saw Abe Lincoln's funeral procession.
Yeah, there's a photo.
In 1865, Teddy Roosevelt watched Abraham Lincoln's funeral procession in New York City, left quite an impression, enough to make Teddy want some of Lincoln's hair to call the man his great hero, and he got some of the hair and put it in a ring that he carried with. But he saw it.
There's
Lincoln's
a photo of their house, and there's a young boy looking out the window, and they say that's
gotta
him.
be him. He saw it. Ulysses S. Grant was given a speeding ticket while he was president. 1872, pulled over and fined $20 for exceeding the Washington speed limit on a horse.
Should have been drunk driving too, probably.
Yeah,
oh, by the way,
should have a case of whiskey when he's drinking.
Robert said his name was Owen.
Owen. That's right. I remember this story. Richard Nixon proposed to his wife the day they met, pursued her obsessively for 2 years until she finally said yes. But it's even weirder than that. In order to spend time with her in the interim before she said yes for 2 years, he acted as her chauffeur and drove her on dates with other guys.
Oh, God, that's weird.
That's a true story.
That's
Richard Nixon's favorite snack? Cottage cheese with ketchup.
Oh, my God. He was a weird guy.
You know, I used to like cottage cheese years and years and years. I would make a salad with a lot of cottage cheese, put some extra mayonnaise on it, and lettuce, and good crisp iceberg lettuce. Yeah. My mother used to make it for us with pineapple on it. Cottage cheese and pineapple. She did. Didn't never had that? You never heard of that? Oh, my God.
Heard of it,
really?
but I never. No. My mother loved
That's
cottage cheese.
that's got to be a World War II thing.
What the hell is it, by the way? What is cottage cheese? What is it?
It's milk. It's cheese. Cheese is milk.
That's gone bad.
No. That's curdled milk. That's that's different. It's not gone bad. It's just gone lumpy.
Milk. Okay,
But it's
milk
not
with
sour.
lumps in it.
No, you don't want to drink. Then it's bad milk. But cottage cheese is not bad milk.
Chunky
It's good
milk.
cottage cheese. Oh my
You
God.
go to the store, you don't buy. Hey,
I
where's
don't
the
want
chunky milk?
No. Oh God, no. It's like,
You know, that's probably a
like
noise.
Leslie Nielsen going to his refrigerator in one of the movies with what's her name?
That's a noise that probably didn't come about until the 20th century. The
like a midget at a urinal. I had to really stay on my toes. Warren Harding. Got it.
What did he do?
So sorry about coughing all over the place here. Warren Harding bet in a poker game. He bet the White House china. And he lost. George H.W. Bush thought about naming Clint Eastwood as his running mate. At the time, Clint was mayor of Carmel, California. I've been there, by the way, and I've eaten at his restaurant, and I've had his, Wounded Hog? What, not that, Ugly Hog, or what the hell is it? Nasty Hog, music, or what thing, or whatever.
Never been.
Dirty Hog, I can't remember, when I was playing Pebble Beach. Martin Van Buren wrote an autobiography and never mentioned his wife.
Well, when they claim he was
died.
gay,
Well, I think she died.
and he got married in the White House.
Yeah,
I think.
I
But they said he was gay.
Yeah, so I guess they didn't put that part in the President's Day memorial.
No wonder he didn't mention it.
The lying bastard cheated on. Oh, they wouldn't want to add that to the postscript here. The first U.S. president not to own slaves, John Adams. The last president, I did not know this.
That's the second. Well, he was second.
Which of the first 12 U.S. presidents was the first to not own slaves? The first of the first 12 to not own slaves, John Adams.
The second one. So it's not like it was that big of a. I mean, it didn't go like the 11th guy.
Right. Yeah.
It was the second guy.
Yeah. And again, they tried to outlaw slavery in 1630 in the colonies. The first colonies outlawed slavery. So
how'd that go?
The last president to own slaves, I would never have guessed this. Who do you guess?
Jimmy Carter.
No, sorry. Founder, who would you guess? The last president to own slaves.
I guess it wouldn't be a few presidents after Abraham Lincoln.
Lincoln.
Lincoln? You know what the answer is? Ulysses S. Grant. Who would have thought that?
I would have. He was
But
a
I mean, of
drunk
course,
and a-
he's
and a
also
butcher.
the one who gave up the Indians when they found gold, thanks to Custer.
was a drunk
Found
and a
gold
butcher.
in the
Yeah,
in the
and a liar.
Montana, or the Dakotas, and Grant said, "Well, crap, we're gonna have to break that treaty. We need the gold." And he took the land back. He had made a treaty with the Indians to take the Dakotas. It was all their land. And then Custer found gold, and he said, "Oh crap! All right, we got to break that treaty." And he
As they broke all of
yeah,
them.
like you broke all the rest of them. The oldest living president, Jimmy Carter.
You know who the first black millionaire was in America?
Not the peanut guy, Carver.
It was a black woman in Oklahoma that they basically screwed her out of the good land and gave her the crappy land in Oklahoma.
And
and
she
guess what
sued?
they found?
What? Gold?
Oil.
Oh, my God. How cool is that? Good for her.
Yeah.
The oldest living Jimmy Carter. Which president lived the longest? Jimmy Carter. Who was the first president to die in office? William Henry Harrison. But anyway.
He's the one the idiot that gave like a 90-minute speech in a driving blizzard and caught a
got
cold
pneumonia, yeah.
at his inaugural and died.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it was like it lasted like 3 weeks or a month or
Yeah,
it was,
something like that, yeah.
It was very bad. I'm going to do a quick Venmo here thing. We got a definition of the day is coming up. Oh, a definition of the day, which may also be a part of our George Fenneman word of the day: a shrouded fur-bearing carnivorous animal that hovers 3 feet off the ground. All right, more about that later. A couple of, speaking of work things, Amazon has now told its workers, all right, people, we need to have you back in the office at least 3 days a week.
Office.
And wherever they used to work. Again, what office? I mean, but isn't that even amazing?
I didn't know they had offices. I thought everybody was a minion in the warehouse.
They want them back for 3 days a week, and the workers are revolting and saying,
Why?
no, wait, they don't want to go back to work.
Well,
they want to do it because they have computers.
On that note, every time I've ordered DoorDash the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And both great guys who delivered, just real, efficient and
Cool.
everything. It's
Excellent.
really a well-oiled machine these days.
Good.
At
Good
least
to
up
hear.
in Canton it is.
Yeah.
And both times it says, when your driver shows up, make sure you're wearing a mask. I'm like,
Make sure you're wearing a
yeah, it's
mask?
like, no.
I don't think so.
He's not wearing one and I'm not wearing one. Are you giving me a break?
Oh, in fact, I had my heart checkup last week, a routine thing, and they give me an EKG and all that kind of stuff. And I walk into I get to the door of the office. Dr. Adakaran, great guy. I've had him since my heart attack in 2013, and it was 10 years ago. Wow. Anyway, so I get to the door and it says mask required. So I all of a sudden I start getting ticked off right off as soon as I get to the door. Now these are all very nice ladies in the work. It's all women that work in there. Anyway, so I walk into the thing and sure enough they're all wearing masks all the way. And I'm thinking, I said, those really don't work. I mean, even the CDC admits these, and so they got kind of a little upset.
Why would you
I
even
don't know
do
because I'm an
that?
idiot.
You're a
I
doctor.
I can't. I'm an idiot.
I
I'm
just say
just a
yes,
freaking
yes,
idiot.
yes,
I'm
yes,
just yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, and shut the hell up.
You know what? Now they've made a note of you in the file.
I know.
master
I
file.
can't help it. I'm a grumpy old man. I mean, I just need to, say, now wait a minute. I'll wear. And I brought my mask and I wore my little, black skeleton mask and stuff like that. Anyway, and I've had my. And by the way, ladies, my heart is perfect, as strong as a bull. My blood pressure 120/70.
Very good.
My lungs are clear, which I find extremely hard to believe. Really hard to believe. I started smoking Lucky Strikes when I was 9. I started inhaling when I was 11, thanks to Garvin O'Melia.
Every photo you see of the Beatles, every one of them's got a cigarette in their hand.
Mike Wallace used to go on You Bet Your Life or whatever was smoking.
And
Edward R.
McCartney's,
Murrow, they also-
McCartney's what, in the 80s or
Arthur
something?
Godfrey.
Yeah.
I know.
May have gotten George, though, with the brain cancer.
Well,
may have gotten him.
Yeah. Anyway, so why the hell was I talking about smoking when I was 9?
Masks.
Oh, mask. And then I said, I suppose that wonderful vaccine that saved all those millions of lives
Oh,
a
my
pretty
God.
good time.
Oh, my God.
So,
I'm surprised they didn't escort you out. Rocco, Moose,
I know.
show the man the
I
door.
should send him just donuts or something.
idiot.
I really.
And one person you don't mess with is your doctor.
No, he's a great. He and I had great. We had. And he's a great guy, and he said a lot of my patients when they come in say, "How's the Kimmer doing?" Because they used to listen all the
Dr.
time to
Vinnie
the Kimmer
Boom
show,
Butts.
and so we joke about that. And no, they're all nice, but anyway, and I couldn't help it. I'm sorry, I just couldn't freaking help it. Anyway, so here you go.
You see where NBC actually came out a few days ago and said that if you have gotten it before, your natural immunity is better than getting at least 2 of the shots, which 2 years ago, they would have banned you from every single mass media thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A couple of quick Venmo things here. I mentioned Kaysen the other day. Mark said, have a great week. Tracy gave us a 3-way split donation. Friends and family, thanks you guys. Tuning in from Vegas while getting on my costume, heading to Minneapolis. Tracy, the sky waitress, who's a steward. She's a flight attendant, a pretty much co-pilot. Tracy, thank you, sweet girl. One of these days, I'm going to run into her at the Atlanta airport just for fun. Scott gave us a giant donation, quote, for the king of podcasting. Well, he gave it to us anyway. Oh, sorry. And Joshua... Joshua the P-Man paid us $10, hookers and blow, or 4 McDonald's double cheeseburgers. You pick. Thank you, boys and girls.
That would be a pretty shitty hooker and some crappy blow. I mean,
well, it's like the guy goes to a $5 hooker and he has his little way with her, and the next day he realizes he's got crabs, and he goes back to the hooker and he says, "Hey, you bitch, you gave me crabs. She says, what do you want for $5? Lobster?" Anyway, sorry. It could have been a Brady Day Theater Playhouse. I could have done a thing about it. Speaking of crabs and hideous things, MILF Island's on tonight. And I'm probably going to tape it, although it's so icky. Have you seen any of it on TLC, the Learning Channel?
Nor will I.
Oh, God. I mean, really, you should, just to see how long you can last, about all these, 55-year-old hot babes,
really.
and they're half rubber, for God's sake. Oh, jeez. Anyway, it's icky.
That's a good game, half rubber.
Half rubber is a good game. Which half?
No, seriously, they play at Savannah. It's with a half. They cut a rubber ball in half, and they throw it, and you use a broomstick.
Start over again now.
It's a tournament down there, which is big in South Georgia. It's called half rubber, and they take these little plastic balls that you can kind of squeeze, not plastic, but rubber type styrofoam.
Yeah.
And they cut it in half so you can throw it like a frisbee. And that sucker is doing like
how big?
UFO
hand
shit.
Size?
Yeah,
softball
it's a
baseball
ball.
size. All right.
It's a ball, and all you have is a broomstick handle. And you got to hit this thing, and wherever you hit it, that's what your points get or whatever. So you're not running around the bases. So basically, it's a pitcher and a batter. That's about it. But these suckers,
so it's like
are
wiffle ball.
hard to hit. Yeah.
I'll be damned.
By the way, there is room now in my front yard for wiffle ball.
All right,
there's room for softball. There's room for hitting golf balls.
I'll come up there and play wiffle ball with you, and I'll bring my mitt. We'll play catch too. I haven't played catch in so long. I miss playing catch. I love to play catch.
You know what you ought to do? If you like to fish, you find your fishing poles and come on.
So
up
is it?
Yeah, but you have like a trout stream.
It's a
right?
trout stream.
Yeah, I'm
Is
a
it
kind
confirmed?
Of a bass guy.
Yeah, I'm moving the stuff in this weekend, and we'll see. I'm supposed to be in there by the first.
You got the place?
Yeah.
Well, he buried the freaking lead. Hold on. Oh, my God.
We already said that.
I start over on the show. Jesus, you found a place.
It looks
my
like it.
God.
It looks like it's
so they'll be able to tend to the internet needs and things like that.
We'll find out when we get in there. And you know what? If it's slow, then that's fine. It's slow. I'm not going to worry about it. And I need to spend a year writing and just
Yeah, but you need the internet to research.
I drove down to Atlanta today to Sandy Springs, and I'm sitting there in traffic on 285 trying to get off on Roswell Road. And I'm thinking, I hate this city.
I know.
However, did you see? I mean, again, once that's finished, it's going to make life in that area
for a year,
Yeah.
and then it'll be crowded again, and then it'll be over with.
No, I think
that's what they said about 400.
400,
400 will be just fine.
And then all of a sudden he realized, we only made 2 lanes of 400 all the way to Cumming. And then he said, but you build it, they will come. If you build a road, they're all going to use it.
Yep.
And 400, sure enough, had to stop and build 2 more lanes.
People are not going to stop moving here. That's just not going to happen.
Well, now it's becoming because North Point and places like that used to be considered very north of the city, and now it's becoming overcrowded out here.
Not to say. And by the way, don't try and look up where I live. That's creepy.
You want these?
But
we're not going to give you.
No, I'm not talking to you.
Oh, sorry. He doesn't want his, so you can have those 2 if you want them. Do you want them?
Yeah.
Flounder? No. If you can have the other 2 if he doesn't want them. I guess, right? You don't want them.
I don't want I'm going from a city of 5 million to basically an area that has less than 500 people.
I grew up in a small town. I consider my childhood. I lived in 2 little small towns that were population 3,500, 4,000 outside a village outside of a town that was maybe 40,000.
Yeah.
And it was Father Knows Best, Norman Rockwell childhood. I mean, it's the best things you could possibly have. And it was small. Everybody knew each other. God forbid you try to do something wrong because someone's going to see you and tell your mother. I mean, it was just,
everybody knows
leave your keys in the car. We never locked our door. I mean, it was the old. And again, what about black people? Okay, we're not talking about that. We're talking about how people trusted each other more, and we're not trying to screw somebody out of their stuff. It didn't seem to be that. You know what I mean? Nobody would even thought of how can I scam the internet to try to cheat all the older people out of their life savings. I mean, that's all people do for a living now is internet scams. Nobody would have thought of a better way to cheat everybody out of in 1952. Anyway, whatever. Yeah. Just for the record. A couple of things. We got a very nice message. In fact, let me ask you about crowdfunding. I'll ask about that here in a second. First, a reminder, if you'd like to join us as a sponsor on the Kimmer Show podcast, go to thekimmershow.net. And everything connects with that. You can search for anything you want to do, including our friends like Wise RV Glass. What a great idea this was for a company, Wise RV Glass, especially during the last couple of years of the pandemic and the China kill virus. If you have an RV or motor coach, camper, things like that, and you have any kind of a glass issue, it might be a fogged up double pane window or a broken side mirror or a rear view mirror or a hard to find one piece flat front windshield on some of those RVs and stuff. Whatever it is, they'll take care of it for you by coming to you. It's an all mobile service. What a great idea. You get a hold of them, they'll say, okay, be right there. And you don't have to go driving around trying to find them. And again, if you have even a little crinkle cut or one of those kind of website spider web marks in a rear view mirror or something, and don't be thinking, it's such a small job. I know. No. That's what they do. That's what they do. And no job is too small or too big. And I mean all of North Georgia, all of Metro Atlanta, Wise RV Glass. Here's a phone number, and say hi to Carl, who's retired, and son Russell's got this family business going great. Here's the area code, 470-345-6521, and on the web, wiservglass.com, a longtime and proud sponsor of the Kimmer Show podcast, and we're very, very grateful. Now, let me ask you, we still have newsy. I promise you got newsy stuff. Do we care? Are we doing okay right now?
Yeah, we should do maybe one.
Okay.
We've been on for 36 minutes and we haven't done any.
Well, but
we just annoyed the hell out of everybody.
Well, if they want to do newsy stuff, I want to do. Can I do one thing here? A recommendation from our friend Anthony. Hey, Anthony. He says, a question to you guys. Have you thought of doing a crowdfunding event for Kimmer Media? I'm sure many people like myself would contribute to this. Maybe with the funds created, more sponsorships open up. The reason I asked, I watch multiple YouTube channels. One in particular is called Asian Boss. They were close to shutting down completely, but also had a crowdfunding event and generated a whole bunch of money from all over the world, which you also have listeners and fans from all over the world. When I hear y'all repeatedly ask for donations, this is one way to do it. Just an idea. Well, I don't know. I don't know what that. Do you know what that is?
The problem with that is it's a one-time thing, and once people do it, they never do anything else. Again.
Yeah. Is it a video thing? Yeah. Anyway, whatever. I just.
I mean, we could do it. What?
Okay. All right. I'm putting aside all. We got Pete's house story. Can you tell? Give us a. It's one you were talking about. Lots of outdoors, woods, streams. Okay. I'm happy for you. I'm really.
Everybody should come up and visit. Not everybody.
Well, no, everybody.
People can come up.
No, that's. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
But it's got a porch swing. I can just
porch swings are great. I've had porch swings. Porch swings are great. All right. Well, I'm going to come back to that. All those personal links with Pete. Now, Jimmy Carter is in hospice care. He came home to die at home. We don't know. Obviously, the man's 99 years old. It's just, I'm feeling kind of melancholy about it because I really did like and admire and respect Jimmy Carter from the first time I met him. And again, it was 1972, and I came here as the morning news guy at the big radio station that had a 50 share everybody in the world listened to, including Jimmy Carter, and he would listen to my newscast at 7 o'clock in the morning, which I would end by saying, enjoy your grits, Kim Peterson, and Elmo Ellis even did a newsmaker line thing on it, a pro and con issue on it, whether I was offending people. Anyway, Jimmy Carter would listen to my broadcast every morning between 7 and really 9 or so, and then I'd go to the state capitol and cover the state capitol, and so I saw him almost every day. or for a very long time. Anyway, and he was always respectful. Of course, he knew that the radio station I worked for was the only game in town, so that helped him with anything he wanted to get across. He would call to me and say, yes, sir, my governor, and he'd I'd give a scoop, and then he'd be happy, and everybody'd be happy. So, that wasn't me. That was just the power of the media back then, was a monopoly, basically. But in terms of presidency, and I remember Hamilton Jordan and Jody Powell and the Southern Mafia, they used to call him, I think. And he had a hell of a time trying to, he tried to throw out the swamp too. He tried in his way and didn't have a chance. Lasted as a one-term president. But I always liked him, always admired him. And years after, this was 1976. Oh, in fact, I'll do my one quick insider story. Mm-hmm. I've told Jimmy Carter stories before. I haven't told this one in a very long time, I think. Back 1977, about 1974, I got an invitation from the governor for me and my wife to join him and some others at the governor's mansion for, was it dinner or just a meet? I don't think it was dinner. I can't, but for a meeting at the governor's mansion. Maybe it was whatever. Okay, so we're there, and then he calls. It was me and a couple of newspaper guys, and there might have been somebody else. We call us into the room. We start chatting, and he announces to us. He said, "Well, I just wanted to let you know. Again, this is off the record." But to let you know, we're putting the things in motion for me to become more of a national figure. And so we're all going, whoa, geez, are you going to, and somebody said, are you going to try to, are you going to, there was a rumor, Governor, that you were going to try to become like the transportation secretary under the new the next administration. He says, no. And another guy said, geez, are you thinking maybe you can be like vice president on the ticket? And he said, no, I'm running for president. and this was 2 years before, or a year and a half anyway, I think probably 2 years, full years before the election. And so I'm thinking to myself, holy crap, Jimmy Carter just told me and two other guys that he's running for president 2 years before he did it. But don't tell anybody.
Did anybody laugh out loud?
No. I was flabbergasted.
Okay. Because when he announced on television, my dad yelled at me. What was this? I was 14. Yelled, come here, you got to see this. And I ran in there, and he goes, this idiot's going to run for president. I know. We both just started laughing.
I know. And I remember shortly after that, that, oh, my God, the TV show. You remember the TV show, What's My Line?
Yeah.
And they would have a secret guest enter and sign in, please.
The president.
And he came in, and they said, and the panel was there with, what was that old brunette lady?
Kitty Carlisle. Bennett Cerf.
Oh, my God. Was she a Hollywood columnist or something?
Wally Cox.
Oh, my God.
She was a gossip columnist. And a society maven. Yeah.
And he came in, and he put down Jimmy Carter, and their job was to guess who he was. Yeah. And at the time, he was governor of Georgia.
Who knew?
I know. That's what I'm saying. I remember watching the show. I said, oh, my God.
But he knows who he is.
Anyway, so he's in hospice care. And he's, he's not going to make it. And God bless him. And he's at peace. The family's everybody's. I mean, it's just, it's a sad story. But again, trust me, the older you get, the more you're thinking about this every freaking day. I wonder whether I'm waking up. I really do.
At some point, I've got to turn this around to you.
No.
The poor president is dying, and somehow we're going to work this back around to feeling sorry for you. Are you through with your stories? You got some more Carter stories?
No, I want you to tell your Jimmy Carter story.
Okay, sure.
No, don't make it short.
First thing I did at WGST, we're sitting there, and they'd run out of reporters for something, and I think it was Susan Kesak was the producer in the afternoon. She goes, oh, crap, Jimmy Carter's coming in, Peachtree DeKalb Airport. And I'm just sitting there, fresh out of college. She goes, Pete, grab a recorder and go over to Peachtree DeKalb. Like, what? What? Yeah. The president's landing there. It's like, what? The former president. So I get the thing, and the first assignment I'd ever been put on, and I go to Peachtree DeKalb, and I get there, and it's me. I think Richard Belcher was one of the guys. There's me, a couple TV guys, and a newspaper guy, and we're just sitting around the airport lounge looking at each other, looking at eating some Zag nuts out of the damn machine. And here comes the little plane comes in, and it's like, here we go. So we all walked out there, and they're kind of looking at me like, who the blank are you? And Jimmy Carter gets off this little bitty plane, and there's me and 3 other guys standing there talking to him.
Yeah.
And I asked him a question, and he talked to me like he talked to the TV guys. It was like, it was very nice of him.
Yeah.
You know, because he didn't know me from Adam, Jack Adam, but he saw the WGST thing, so he thought it was important.
Yeah.
And he was as friendly as he could be and everything. And it was like, well, this is not bad. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm meeting the former president on the damn tarmac here.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, again, you know, how many people meet a president of the United States?
Not many.
Years later, when I was doing TV stuff, a guy that had to be in the late 80s, whatever, he had come into town for something, and I covered him. And I got there, and he immediately came up and said, "Hey, Kim, how you doing? Nice to see you again." I mean, it'd been years. Just nice man. Anyway, I feel badly that he's almost 100 years old. So you got to feel that's pretty good.
Okay, that was a good story.
Now the bad one.
There was a story. We used to play Manuel's Trivia every Sunday night.
Oh, yeah.
It was a big deal.
That
These
was
people
back
took it
in the-
seriously.
yeah.
It's
Back in the
like
90s.
surfers with their beaches. You
Yeah.
don't mess around. It's turf and everything. And we're sitting there playing, everything, having a good time. We're a little drunk. And all of a sudden, it was almost as if the music starts, and everyone started standing up. They stopped the music in between the questions, and everyone started standing up and clapping. And I'm like, who the hell is it? Jimmy Carter had walked in, interrupting the trivia
manuals?
contest.
Oh boy.
So everybody's clapping and everything. I'm in the back going, boo!
Oh, Pete!
Boo! So half the table was laughing. Half the table was pissed. And they're going,
of course.
"Blah, blah, blah." I said,
He's
so
Jimmy
hold on a
Carter.
second. He worked for us. We elected him. He's not royalty, okay? We don't. You know, if I disagree with him, I don't have to sit here and applaud. If I don't want to applaud, I can boo that man because he's a public servant.
That's right. And by God, I
By
think you
God.
should go into church and fart through the entire service to prove that you have the right to do
great
it.
lordly politicians. Oh, that's the problem. We all do this all the time instead of saying, "Hey, you asshole, why did you do this?"
Oh, God.
Put him on blast.
And
Put
you
him on blast.
And you complain about me to complain
Son,
about Mask
do it.
at the doctor.
I'd had a few
Attack the
pictures. Wait a
president
minute.
of the United States.
You were stone cold sober. I'd had a couple pictures at this point. I'm going, boo, boo, you bum.
You rotten
Okay,
bastard.
okay, this may even be worse. I like to go to presidential libraries. And one day I'm driving around Georgia with my dog Red. This before I got Bear. Me and Red are driving around, and we pulled into some place in South Georgia, and I had to go to the restroom. So I go, you wait here. I'll be right back. I swear to God, I'll be right back. I'm literally 50 yards away in the restroom, inside the building, and I can hear him barking.
Howling.
He's left me. He's left me. He's left me. He's left me with his dog. So I get out there. Whose dog is that? It's mine. Okay, he's okay. You know, he's just got separation issues. So I get out there. It's like, shut up. So we go to the plains. And oh, wait a minute. I've never been to Jimmy Carter. So we'll walk around his little thing. And there's a house. There's a little farm thing. You can walk around the whole place where he was born, basically. And we're walking around, and it's not a trooper. What do they call him when they give you the tours? The park guide. or
park
something.
police?
Park
Yeah,
guide. or
park
something.
rangers or-
Giving the tour.
Yeah.
And we're in the tour. There's about 20 of us and everything. All of a sudden, she's up on the steps of where he was born, giving a speech. All of a sudden, she stops, and I hear all these people gasping behind me. And I turn around, and Red is taking the largest dump of his life right outside of Jimmy
You brought him
Carter's
with you to the
birthplace. Well, it was an outside.
Oh.
And I looked at him, and people were looking at me going, I had no idea my dog was a Republican. He's a Republican. What can I do?
And did you leave it there? I
Well,
assume
I
didn't
think
have a bag
I
with
think there was a bag or something I could pick it up.
Oh, Lordy.
so
That's
there's
the other
one.
thing. We're not cleaning up. And I've had that happen where I didn't have anything to do with anything.
can
And
you
then what are
do?
you going to do? Well, I didn't know he was going to do it. I'm sorry. I thought I had
There was a lot of looks of disgust. I don't know what was worse, him doing that or me booing.
I
Jimmy.
know. A couple more passings. You mentioned I'd forgotten that actually they come in threes.
Yeah,
People passing
say.
in threes. Raquel Welch. Shortly after we did our show last week, Raquel Welch passed away. What was she, 82, I think, or 80? What was she? She was up there, 80s.
Raquel was
84,
82, I believe. Gosh, she's one of the most beautiful women in the world.
She
ever.
and naturally built too. I mean, she was before the silicone
there was
stuff. She
none.
was a real.
And she was. I didn't know that she was Bolivian. Her father was Bolivian. That come
I
here
did not
to this
know that.
country.
Huh.
I thought she was Mexican or something.
I thought she was Spanish. Well, I really hadn't thought about it.
I don't think Bolivian's Hispanic though, is it?
I don't know. I don't think they are. I don't think he would call it Bolivian Spanish. Stella Stevens died.
Maybe
Stella
they were.
Stevens, a huge Hollywood starlet of the 60s and 70s. She was beautiful and built. And she was also did a lot of comedy stuff. Nutty Professor, Poseidon Adventure. She was in that. She died
still
at
hot in that, too.
84. She had Alzheimer's disease. Stella Stevens, if you don't know who that is, she was gorgeous. I mean,
Her
she
and
was
Connie Stevens were
Connie
close.
Stevens and Stella Stevens, and they were. She was all, I thought, a lot prettier than Jane Mansfield or even maybe Marilyn Monroe. She was just gorgeous.
And from Memphis. I didn't know she was from Memphis.
Yeah. By the way, she had Alzheimer's, and I want to ask a question about that, which I'm still confused about. Also, Richard Belzer, the comic and TV actor in particular, the TV detective. He was only 78. And now it's but he didn't he get sick quickly? All of something or other. I forgot what it was.
I once had some time in Hollywood and bought one of those maps you can drive around and look at houses. You wouldn't believe Jimmy Carter's was just a normal ranch, and this is Beverly Hills. I think they've torn it down now and put a mansion up. Humphrey Bogart's looked like something in DeKalb County.
Really?
That you can just want a nice little middle class home in DeKalb County, and went by Raquel Welch's ranch. Welch's. I'm thinking, oh God, hopefully she's outside and wants some doing something. She wasn't, but it was a nice house, but it wasn't something you would think they would live in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, gotta love it. And Alzheimer's disease. When people now it says here she had Alzheimer's. Did she die from it? And what? How do you die from Alzheimer's? Is it your brain just stops breathing? Your brain says stop by beating my heart now,
Yeah, it
or
stops your organs basically.
so without you? I mean,
I guess so.
Because I think people think. That Alzheimer's simply means that you're kind of in your own dream world and you don't know reality and God knows what you're thinking in your brain. But apparently, if your brain decides to shut down your lung power in your heart, that's what Alzheimer's. I assume that's what that means.
The synapses just stop and the messages aren't
Don't
getting
get
out.
through. Yeah. Also, speaking of that, could somebody tell? I know this is nitpicky. Could somebody tell Jesse Waters that a stroke has nothing to do with your heart? He keeps saying, John Fetterman, the Senator Fetterman, he's got that heart problem, he can't communicate, A stroke is vessels in your brain.
But it can start in your heart.
Okay, if you people who have strokes frequently have heart issues. My daughter Jennifer, who had a stroke, has nothing to do with her heart. Her heart's got nothing to do with a stroke. It's a blood vessel in your brain. Now, because of that, you may also have heart issues and lung issues and everything else. But John Fetterman's issue is not a heart issue. His issue is a stroke, which is your brain. And Jesse keeps saying, well, he has, he had that heart issue.
Well, does he have See, the problem with arrhythmia or AFib is if your heart's not beating correctly, a clot can form there and then move out.
Yeah. Well, anyway, but my point is the issues with Fetterman are the stroke, not a heart murmur or whatever anything might be. Just for the record, I'm just saying, because there is a big difference in realizing how you should deal with people who have it. Jennifer's mind is great. She just can't get around as fast as she could. Fetterman's got a mind problem, a communication
and they elected
problem.
him anyway.
And they'll elect a bowl of plasma, because they are concerned with winning.
So this brings up a good question. What does this do with the vetting process moving forward?
Well, I think it's two things, by the way. First of all,
I'm curious to know whatever doctors cleared him when he originally ran.
Again, he should have had an MRI. There's no way that he was cleared as a vibrant, vital elderly citizen.
Then how the hell did he become a senator?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, there are no qualifications medically wise.
Right.
I don't believe.
There's no.
Should there be?
Has to do anything.
I mean,
however, who's going to judge that?
Yeah. Well, remember, what's her name? South Carolina, Hattie McDonald there. What's her name? The governor running for president. She's a girl. She's
Winston
from India. Nikki
Haley.
Nikki Haley. Nikki, not Natty. Nikki says if she's president, she's going to demand a cognitive test for anybody over 75.
Well,
period.
Walter Reed?
Well, yeah. Well, no, at Jimmy Farland's. I mean, whatever. Pick a place. I mean, anyway, she's trying to make a standard, and no more, and term limits too. I heard things are term limits and MRI to see if you're cognitive at the age of 75. But listen to this: the GOP now has made this pledge: candidates for president in the Republican Party will not be allowed to debate this summer if they have not signed a pledge to support the GOP's presidential nominee when it's over.
Okay.
which is a sign to say, okay, let's stop fighting with each other, people. Let's start bringing us together, which is it's too late because we still have that division. It's the Trump division and everything else that's still happening. But at least they're making a move to say, okay, we have to start acting together here. And Reagan used to say, never pick on your own people.
Yeah, the first
Ever.
commandment, never attack another Republican.
Stop.
And what did Marjorie Taylor Greene do over the weekend? Attack DeSantis. What are you doing?
I don't know what she's doing. I don't get that.
By the way, all this bull crap brought to you by our good stuff, Atlanta Custom Closet.
Talk about a great thing for the lady of your love.
Closet and the guy.
And the guy. Could be a
ClosetPro.net. 404-255-0589. That's 404-255-0589. Atlanta Custom Closets. Everybody, no matter what gender you are, what are you pretending to be? Everybody loves.
You could be a toaster. If the woman's a toaster,
yeah,
they can have slots for the shoes and second slot for the gowns.
If you don't know what you are, you can have a closet for your male stuff and you can have a closet for your female
shaped
stuff.
like a question mark. They could have a track of shaping a closet like a question mark. I swear to God, these people are unbelievable.
They are. They are.
Tell them again. The
Atlanta
name.
Custom Closets.
There you are. Thank you so much. One more. Speaking of Republicans and divisive thing, this is one of the things. There are probably two comments that made Donald Trump unelectable for some people forever, no matter how great a president he was, and he was a great president. Attorneys for Donald Trump now are trying to go to court to ban the Access Hollywood audio tape in which President Trump is bragging about grabbing women by the God's gift to humanity. They'll let you do it if you're famous enough, and so on and so forth. That tape about grabbing women by the humanity, and the one about where they misquoted him saying that there's a lot of good people among the Nazis at the rally that killed a person. And if he hadn't said, John McCain's no hero, I like my heroes alive or something, like three stupid things. They're just three silly little things. When he was saying there's good people on both sides, he was talking about the issue of taking down monuments, not the Ku Klux Klan and the Nazis. But again, those three comments, those 8-second comments, ruined him forever for voters who will never support him just because of that. It's also why he won, because people like us are saying, it's about time we got an actual guy in there who's willing to, take care of business. But anyway, whatever. But the division with Republicans, I think we're still nervous about it. Newsy stuff. President Rapey made a secret trip to Ukraine overnight. He was there for 4 or 5 hours, and once again he gave away the store. He pledged to put over the entire American budget for Ukraine, and by mistake, I'm afraid President Showers with daughter unfortunately said, we're going to give you fighter jets, and by God, we're going to make sure that we destroy Ukraine once and for all. America is all in favor of destroying Ukraine forever. He made them thought he was talking about Russia. He also apparently made the comment about looking for, we're not going to stop until we have regime change. Isn't that a threat to go to war?
Yes.
I mean, literally, isn't that literally saying, okay, we're going to oust you, so I don't think you're probably going to do anything about that, are you? Or I don't know. Would you?
Know. They want
Jesus.
They want World War III. They want it because they'll use it against us.
I honestly think and by the way, I heard his speech. He sounded not only asleep. He said he doesn't know what I think it's like he tries to pretend that he's like doing a fireside chat like FDR used to do, and it's not. I mean, he doesn't get it. He thinks he's a sweet old man, kind of gather he's around and the boy. I mean, oh my God! And he threatened Russia. He said we want to kill Putin, basically.
If Trump had done that, good Lord.
Oh my God!
Anyway,
Did
you see when Trump went to East Palestine, whatever they call it, within an hour, FEMA changed its tune.
Yeah. Right. FEMA
that shows you where this administration is. Biden's in Ukraine and Trump is in Ohio.
Yeah. And I think, the railroad offered the people $1,000 apiece?
Yeah, not only that, to get that $1,000, what did they have to sign?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you can't say this or you can't do that.
Did you see the snow in Canada? It's reached Canada now, and the snow was melting in the street, and it was rainbow colored. Like there's crap in it. And they said, I've never seen this before.
That's from what happened in Cleveland. Oh, my God.
Well, and the water, New Orleans is affected by this because it goes right in the Ohio, down to the Mississippi, all the way down killing everything in its path
Yeah.
to New Orleans
Yeah.
and into the Gulf.
Yeah.
But have you heard anybody from the environmental people bitching about it?
There's total silence.
They've all been paid.
I mean, and again, and now, what's even more amazing, the liberal media are now supporting the administration by saying, "Oh, you Republican, conspiracy theories are saying this is the worst thing than Love Canal and the worst disaster since Chernobyl. All you Republicans, everything's fine. They tested the water. It's going to be fine." I mean, it's unbelievable. They're just jumping right on the side of again, you would think the liberals would be in an uproar. Whatever happened to what's the name from
Actually,
the movie about the girl? Aaron
where is
Brockovich
she?
thing. Whatever happened to people like that?
You know who's come out? Rosie O'Donnell has come out and said this is bull.
Jeez, I mean, it's unbelievable.
I think he's bowling out there. Can you hear that? He's. What is that? Your neighbors?
Yeah, it's something upstairs. Today's President's Day, so most people are off. So
Oh, he's bowling upstairs.
They probably can hear
well,
us.
they got they got a dog too up there. So you're
Oh, are we being too? Am I
you're
being
fine.
too
You're
loud?
fine. You're fine.
Okay, I'll try to cool it down. Anyway, of course, and the reason that President Stupid went to Ukraine was because I think he's trying to salvage his tenure as president. With his legacy is going to be ousting the Russian oligarchs and the Russian dictator, murderer, and supporting the country that I mean, as though this is his going to be his claim to fame, because he's running out of time to do anything else. So I mean, maybe somebody told him this is the way he's going to save it. I don't know, but it doesn't make any sense for me. But what happens when you're suffering at home and everybody's criticizing you, shooting down the balloons, and we got the Love Canal in Ohio, everything, all this kind of stuff's going on. Open the borders are going crazy. So he takes it on the road. What do politicians do when there's bad news at home? You take it on the road.
Bomb somebody.
Yep.
Just go bomb the hell out of somebody.
And now he's saying we're going to send fighter jets over there. What did Putin say about sending fighter jets over there? He said, "I dare
They
you."
want World War III.
Yeah. He said, "I dare you."
Who
Now-
was it? Was it Tulsi Gabbard who said over the weekend that this either ends in that we make a peace agreement between the two,
Yeah.
or it ends with nuclear strikes? It's one or the other.
Yeah. Well,
And you know the clampdown that will come if we have to go to war with Russia, the clampdown that they will put on us.
Well, not only that, then we go to war with China.
Then we go to war with our government.
Well,
if they put us in a
it's
damn
over.
war with Russia, they're our enemy at that point.
Yeah, it's over. The Babylon Bee. I have a couple of funny headlines here for Babylon
Smooth
Bee.
transition.
Well, about all
Would
the
you
issues.
support a war in Russia? Would you support our government if they
Hell
took us
no.
to war with
Hell
Russia?
No, this is like World War I started for a stupid
Right.
reason.
The guns of August.
Jesus, I mean, this it didn't make any freaking sense.
But you could see it coming.
I mean, there's no reason there should be a war because of Ukraine, which, by the way, was one of the most corrupt governments in the history of the world, and who, and by the way, was paying off Hunter Biden and paying off. I mean, oh my God, there's 9 things that are all the reasons why you would not want to give a crap whether they go Russian, because half the people in Ukraine probably feel like Russians.
There are 3 Russia. There's Great Russia. There's Little Russia, which is considered Ukraine. And there's White Russia, which is Belarus.
It's Russian.
It's always been historically connected. Doesn't mean they shouldn't have their own country.
Yeah. But they're not going to cut off Mother Russia. I mean,
We're not having World War III over.
Oh, it's not worth us doing anything over there. And again, he pledged another $100 billion or something. I mean, I said, geez, you got to be kidding me.
Well,
Putin's not the enemy. China's the enemy.
Yeah. But now that
But I guess who's going to help Putin if we keep doing this? He's already talking.
You know what it'll be? Xi will be Hitler. Putin, and not to make the Hitler thing, but historically, Xi will be the Hitler having to support the Mussolini of Putin.
Mussolini, yeah.
What were you going to say?
Well, no, if now that the Republicans have control of the House, which they control spending, can't they halt money going to Ukraine?
They can, but then they'll be called unpatriotic. They're not supporting our boys and girls over there. Our boys and girls shouldn't be over there.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, exactly.
The Babylon Bee's got some comments about all these things at home that are disastrous but are not getting the attention they should. For example, 6th grader swears his science homework was blown up by a Sidewinder missile. Compassionate Pete Buttigieg cuts train's brake line so it can run free. Fighting back tears as he mustered the courage to do what needed to be done. Secretary of Transportation, one gay checkmark, Pete Buttigieg, reportedly cut a train's brake line so it could run free. Go, just get out there. You've been trapped for too long and you deserve to roam, a visibly distressed Buttigieg said as he slapped the train's caboose, attempting to push it out of the rail yard. Get out of this terrible place. Go play with the other trains. Come on, get. Can't you see you're not wanted here anymore? Don't look back, you beautiful creature. At press time, sources confirmed a teary-eyed Buttigieg had to put the train out of its misery after it had derailed and spilled toxic chemicals. And by the thank you. I said, well, it was a reading of
that was like Paul Rudd trying to take that horrible script that he was handed for Ant-Man and the Wasp 3 and
which
trying
is on
to make
again, I think.
which, by the way, is a bad movie. It may be the worst Marvel movie
it was just
yet.
on Showtime.
No,
or something.
it's not. It just came out in theaters.
Well, the original. I'm sorry.
No, well, the old one.
Yeah.
The first two were fine.
Yeah.
This one is the worst Marvel movie.
Of all the Marvel movies,
I think it's the worst Marvel movie.
what makes it bad? I mean, just
The script. The script, the lines aren't funny, the characters aren't funny. You don't care about the characters, you don't care about any of it. All it does is promote the next one, the movie. The guy who plays the bad guy, Kang, does a very good job. Other than that,
You know, in
Nothing.
fact, let me say that the last night, I think it was might have been Saturday night. Over the weekend, I was flipping through to see what to see, and I saw the Ant-Man movie, and I said, you know, I've never even seen a minute of it, and I've heard of it. I didn't. I'm not, you know, the Marvel guy watching those things. So I said, what the hell? I'll watch that. And that's Paul Rudd, right? The guy. And who is that? The little girl's his daughter.
yeah, Cassie.
What a great little actress. God, she was so cool. And I thought, well, she's a remarkable little girl. I mean, it was really, it seemed like a really kind of a cute thing. And I didn't watch the whole thing, but is she in all of them too? Or is it like a team? Really? Okay.
She
anyway.
may be a little bit in the second one, I think. Maybe.
Anyway, I'd never.
She's kind of grown. She's a teenager in the third one.
Oh, I don't know whether she's an actress that we would know. I mean, again, this had to be a 10-year-old movie, I'm guessing, probably. What's the original Ant-Man? I don't even know. Whatever.
About 10 years, yeah.
Speaking of the railroad disaster in Ohio, by the way, I remember once when with a final wife, and I had a boat up at Lake Allatoona. I used to go up there with Wayne, no offense, at his party boat. And I remember one time coming back from the lake, and I got to the railroad crossing, and it was a train coming, so I stopped, obviously, and the signal was coming. It was kind of fun to count the cars, stuff like that. And all of a sudden, I looked, and I think I took video of it. Did I have a cell phone back then? I can't remember. Maybe I'm really trying to remember if I had a cell phone to take video. What?
no, I don't think back. Like that was in the '90s, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think cell phones.
Maybe not.
were-
Probably not.
Flip phone, maybe.
I can't
You
remember.
got a pager.
Anyway,
That's what you had.
here's the reason I'm trying to remember.
Zach
Is because
Morris
when I stopped at the crossing. This is again up right near Lake Allatoona, leaving the harbor, the port, and a train came through, and the tracks rose when the train wheels went over the tracks. The tracks rose off the ground, literally a foot. So the railroad ties were not all tied down. I mean, I'm watching the rails go like this, and I thought, "Holy crap!" And so I think I called 911. That's what I did. I called 911, and I said, "This may not be the right thing, but I said you got to get somebody out here for this railroad thing because these tracks are going a foot in the air when the train goes over them." And I hung up whatever, and then that was on a Sunday, I believe, and then Monday went on the radio, and I told about the story of the tracks going up and down like that, and the guy from the railroad called me later and said, "Thanks, man, because we had no idea, but that was very, very dangerous."
Guess what? Over the weekend, some kayakers took a photo of the bridge over the Etowah River, the railroad bridge.
Oh, really?
It looks like something from the 1800s.
Yeah.
It looks like it's caving in. And they took
Really?
a picture, and it went viral. So I don't know if they've done anything about it yet, but
They
that's
talk
over the
about
Etowah.
infrastructure. You know how many bridges are unsafe in this country?
yeah.
And railroad trestles and things like that? Sewer systems?
But we have $60 billion we can give to Ukraine, not for them to fight the Russians,
No.
to prop up their
Pay up their
pension
debts.
plan,
Yeah.
their pension plans.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Nice.
We can't help out Ohio, but we can help out Ukraine.
And President Sniffy Hair Girl Man goes over to Ukraine to help support their border and won't go to ours and stop the influx by the hundreds of thousands of people every month. 200,000 people a month are coming in
Because
here.
they want it to happen.
God. Some more. Again, you have to start making fun of these people. Cleveland Browns, thankful, no longer be the largest disaster in Ohio. Football team. A couple of quick headlines. Japanese admit sushi was just a massive prank to see if they could get people to eat raw fish.
Eat bait.
Don Lemon watches What is a Woman to find out what is a woman. Disturbing poll reveals 26% of Americans still trust the media. Meteorologists struggling to report the weather as all the weather balloons have been shot down. Senator Fetterman seeks treatment for depression after realizing he's a senator. Tech companies continuing to scour classic dystopian sci-fi novels for new ideas. Man effeminately shoos bee away from his face like a little sissy girl. Biden doing things to distract you from his bad policies. Officially signed the country over to China. Sent another $100 billion to Ukraine. Secured his re-election win for 2024 by already having mail-in ballots. Changed the national anthem to All About That Bass by Meghan Trainor. Took a week-long nap to recover from State of the Union, and he nuked Ohio. Honest mistake. One more quick, that was funny. All right, two more. Dad takes kid to the mall to learn about how their ancient ancestors used to shop for clothes. Women scientists agree that gift bags should contain minimum 63 pieces of tissue paper. Chicks wrapping things.
Yeah, breaking news.
Breaking news.
Gold Dust Woman says that Turkey just got hit by another 6.5.
Oh, wow. Oh, my.
And now we know why Jacinda has left New Zealand, the president of New Zealand.
That quit? What'd she do?
PM, whatever she was.
Yeah.
Here's the new data from the COVID deaths by vaccination status from 2022, last year.
Yeah.
If you're 90 plus, you died 9 times more than the unvaxxed from it.
Wait a minute. If
you're 90 plus and you caught COVID, you are 9 times more likely to die if you had the shots.
Oh, boy.
If you're 0 to 59, 3 times more likely to die. 60 to 69, 5 times more. 70 to 79, 7 times more. 80 to 89, 8 times more likely to die if you took the vaccine. It diminishes your immune system, is what it does. And now they're saying, now the people in the UK are saying, well, where's our stats? Where are the U.S. stats?
Yeah.
If this is New Zealand, it went full bore, almost more than anybody in the world, about forcing people. Say, we're coming for you if you don't have. We're going to come to your house.
Weren't they looking through your neighbor? They tell you to think on your neighbors?
Yeah.
I mean,
it was Mao's China all over again, and now they basically killed. How many people did they kill doing this? Forced them to take something.
So at what point does the left turn on the vaccine to get rid of Trump? Because they can use all this information against Trump pushing the vaccine.
Yeah, and he's still doing it.
So at what point do they turn?
Yeah.
Well, I think the only people who turn are people who actually lose a family member or a friend, and then they go, oh, my God. Only if it's a family member or a friend will they wake up.
Well, I would think it'd be the people, all the young people who were all of a sudden having heart problems. You would think that would be the.
Oh, you hear the latest? They think it's because there was a lot of colds this. We had more viruses this winter, so people got sick. That's why your heart's expanding.
Yeah,
and I don't know if we mentioned it last week, but in the Damar Hamlin interview, they was asked the question, "What did the doctor say about the hit?" He's like, "I'm going to stay away from that."
Yeah, he didn't want to answer the question.
Knows.
It might have been the COVID shot.
He knows.
How could a professional athlete, whose body is, 4% body fat, and not think there's a link?
Yeah, his heart just stopped.
Yeah.
They're not saying it was a blockage, are they?
I
haven't heard anyone say it was a blockage.
He didn't get a stent.
It just stopped.
I didn't hear him get a stent. And he's walking around, and believe me, if you have a heart attack and if you have a blockage, you get a stent before you go home. I mean, or you very quickly. Obviously it was another cause. It wasn't in fact, I still have the clots that were in my arteries in a little plastic bottle. And you can't barely even see them. It's funny. What's the matter with you? My God.
Hold on.
Okay, another newsy thing. How about another newsy thing? This is making Twitter. I've actually looked at Twitter. Apparently, Speaker Kevin McCarthy may be going back on his word. He had said he is going to release all of the January 6th, mostly peaceful Ashley Babbitt.
Yeah, real quick. I think he's going to because they gave all the footage approval to Tucker Carlson.
Whoa. Well, maybe this is what happened. This morning on Twitter, McCarthy promised he would release the J6 footage. Now he's privately backtracking, hoping the public won't notice. We must ride his ass till all the J footage is released. I've been told he's not planning to release all the footage. Show this to everybody. I'm asking the Freedom Caucus to make a motion to vacate the chair, hold his feet to the fire. He's already gone back on his word. He won't release the tapes.
If he's changed his
anyway,
mind again.
If he's changed his mind, that's good.
Okay, how many hours are there of it?
Over like
Oh,
41,000
I mean,
hours.
10,000.
41,000. Okay, you imagine being the intern at Fox
Poor
for
bastard.
Tucker Carlson. Says, I need you to go through this.
Yeah, pick
Yeah,
out
and,
all the
we
parts
need it
where the
tonight.
police are letting him in. You know, I mean, that's what they're going to show. We need to show the police saying, "Okay, now guys, you're going to have to move over there."
Well, they've already got that.
I know, but there's going to show the guy with the funny
Ray Epps. They need to find Ray Epps.
Yeah, exactly.
And follow him from
I
the
know.
first minute he showed up
I know.
and
It's
who he
just-
talked to.
Yeah. Release the footage, and I guess probably they're going to have to here at Doopsie-daisy at some point.
By the way, everybody's saying too much information about your little clot thing, so just know that.
Wouldn't you
sorry,
want to
but
keep it?
the people have spoken. No one wants to hear about your clots that you're keeping in a closet like you're the creepy guy from Silence of the Lambs or something.
Well, then I'm not going to tell you any more about my physical situation.
Is that what it took?
Ladies.
Is that what it took?
Ladies, I can still drive at night, okay? So,
You're a catch. You're what they call a catch.
I'm a catch, baby.
At the home? At the home?
I'm a freaking unicorn, pal,
You're a
baby.
unicorn. You walk in that home.
I'm a unicorn. I can walk upright and I can drive at night.
What was the show where the young guy had moved into the senior
Kramer.
living?
With Seinfeld.
But there was another one too.
Yeah, because he took them all dancing and he won all the dance contests with all the 80-year-old women. And the old guys were all pissed off with their Sanzaveld slacks up to their armpits and stuff. Kramer moved into the old folks' home. Oh, Lordy. Anyway, let's see. I got a billion things. Can I do Pete stuff?
Pete stuff.
Holy crap, it's sports type
yeah,
stuff.
sure, go ahead.
And I got a bunch of sports things. First of all, I teased this before, and I want to kind of close this off. Tell us about Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl is a famous literary
Children's author,
children's
basically.
author. And of course, he has been gone for some time. Trying to find the years he was famous. I didn't have it in the story.
From the 40s to the 80s,
yeah.
maybe 70s.
Well,
He's
there-
married to
something-
Patricia O'Neill. Remember her?
I'm sorry?
He was married to Patricia O'Neill.
Really? The actress who had a stroke. She had a stroke, remember?
Yeah.
And that affected her acting ability forever.
What's his last
Raoul-
name again?
Roald Dahl. He did Charlie and the
R.O.A.
Chocolate Family. So just look up that.
Roald.
He
Roald
did
Dahl,
BFG,
D-A-H-L.
which Spielberg made from a movie recently.
Children's book. Salman Rushdie has said what the publisher is doing is absurd censorship and disgusting. There's a movie going on in Britain. Pete's going to tell us about absolute censorship. Puffin Books and the Dahl estate should be ashamed. Pete, who is Roald Dahl, and why is he well known for? I mean, everybody knows the name, but I'm not sure people know much more than that. And what are they doing now?
Well, as Neil Oliver, the Coast guy, says, buy old books and keep them safe. Well, I was looking at this over the weekend, and we talked last week about the change in 1984 to make it a feminist viewpoint,
Yeah.
which goes against everything we had. Let's see, let me find this
the
here about
publisher is changing is changing words in his books.
Right.
For example, there's one phrase called something like the kid was a fat, juicy child, and they no longer can say fat.
Yeah, they're taking a fat.
They have to
references
call
out.
it overweight or something a lot less offensive. There was some kind of phrase that said his face turned white with rage. Well, you can't say that anymore because white is racist. No more using the word ugly. In other words, the publisher is going through this guy's book and changing the words.
Yep, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Balls on those people. Who says you can do that?
Well, obviously they're getting the permission from the estate.
I mean, really, you could just do that?
I guess so. They did it from Orwell's estate. Orwell, of all people, his estate saying, yeah, you can change that book and make it politically correct when his whole book was against stuff like that.
I mean, God, man, it's so freaking wrong.
And basically, get a book, hardcover book, and keep it safe. It's Fahrenheit
Save the
451.
books.
They're going to come for the guns and the books, I guess.
Holy smokes.
It's worse than we thought.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And all
Willy
of a sudden-
Wonka is what
Willy
it
Wonka,
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you didn't know what Willy Wonka was.
Oh, my God. Okay, I want to do a couple of sports things. Holy Crap at Sports later on today.
Yes, sir.
And I do have some sports things. And also we're going to talk about Mardi Gras, talk about Kinky High School, and maybe get to today's secret word. Also, have you heard of mansion rager parties?
Nope.
Oh boy, this is unbelievable. We got a bunch of things coming up here. But first, Pete, in sports, very quickly, Daytona 500. I didn't see. I forgot to watch. Basically, I was doing stuff.
I didn't watch 1 second of it.
Yeah, and again, for some reason, I lost track of even how they race now. It used to be, you have a race.
I have
and
no
they would-
idea.
They would go a race, and then the race was over,
They
and then
stop
somebody
it,
won.
yeah.
But now there's like stages, and there's a thing.
They stop it. They do it this. They do it that. I have no clue
I'm
how
lost.
it works.
I'm lost.
And I don't care. I
Anyway.
really don't care anymore. And I loved NASCAR
Yeah.
back in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
Loved
So
it. It's still a great thing to go to. If I could get a chance to go to it, I would love to go to the races. They're fantastic, even though it's an all-day event.
Yeah.
But watching on TV, I don't care.
Yeah. By the way, Denise, that ding ding was Denise and a donation on Venmo.
Oh,
thank you, Denise. You're
Denise.
very sweet. Very, very grateful.
Oh, by the way, if Blaine wants to know if you go to these old folks' home, will you bring them salmon too?
Hey, because I brought my date a big 40-pound salmon I got off the guy's boat on the way to her house.
Stuffed flounder, according to Cindy.
I never touched her. You know, in fact, I'll tell you a story about that girl. She was hot. I covered her in San Francisco. You mentioned the salmon. I assume he's talking about me bringing
the
salmon
one you
to
showed
the
up
date.
with the
The story was I was covering a story. I was working in TV for the NBC station, NBC O&O station, and so in San Francisco, 82 or 3 or whatever it was. And the story was 2 women came back from an overseas trip and they did something on da-da-da-da-da. So I met them, the crowd saw them, I interviewed the both of them, and then we got thing. And the little redhead was was real cute, and she kind of reacted to me in kind of a personal way. Yeah. So when we were all over and done, I said, would you like to go out and have a drink sometime or get dinner? And she said, sure. So she gave me her number.
Want to get drunk and screwed?
She gave me her number. And so I called her and I made a date. Now, at this time, I was going through withdrawing from smoking. I'd started smoking again, and I was trying to stop smoking. And our first date was at a softball game. She was playing softball. And I actually, the both of us were playing softball. I guess it was her male-female softball team, and so I played with her. So we were playing softball together. And I remember I had a cigarette on the way to the softball thing, and then I was chewing gum so my breath wouldn't smell like cigarettes. And then afterwards, we went on. We went back to her house or whatever, and I kissed her goodbye. And something happened where I said something happened, and I said, "Well, I'm going through a thing because I'm trying to quit smoking." She says, "Oh yeah, I could tell," or something like that, which was really freaking offensive to me. That she could tell that I had smoked. That she could taste it on my breath when I kissed her.
Well,
whatever, so which is fine. But again, so that was the start of the thing. So I got this great big salmon and took her to her house as a little gift.
Yeah. You think my smoking stinks?
Big 40-pound salmon. I got off the guy's boat. I went to the harbor to the dock.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, brought house. Never laid a hand on her. I didn't see her after that. That was a ball game.
Well, who the hell brings a fish to a woman?
Oh, she was thrilled. She thought, "Oh my God, this is
sure.
unbelievable." She maybe eats some of it right there with her. She served some, right off the fresh fish right off the boat.
You just cut it up and ate it fresh?
Yeah, she loved it. She
like
was
sushi,
and I thought that would get a little reward or so. Anyway.
How about something for the effort?
Yeah, a little something. There'll be no cash. But on your deathbed. Okay. Anyway, so that's a story. Girls softball's back. I started watching. I saw some more college girls softball.
College baseball's back,
and college baseball too. But especially, I get the biggest kick, and I don't watch the whole game. I'll watch 2 innings of girls softball. I get the biggest kick, one, because they're all happy. They all wear makeup. They all have pretty crazy hairdos or long ponytails and ribbons and bows and glitter, and they cheer and they laugh and they're jumping up and down. I mean, it's just a fun. I mean, who could not enjoy? And they're great jocks. And some of these chick jocks are spectacular.
Did you see
athletes.
the catch in center field by the Alabama girl?
No,
it was basically a home run. She caught it at the fence and had these collapsible fences. She fell back into the fence. It collapses and she holds on to it. It was fantastic.
I saw some great plays. I mean, good arms. I mean, and some hitters who can really smack. Anyway, so I love watching girls softball. And again, on my bucket list, and again, it'll never happen because no one cares but me. Is I really would love to face girls fast softball pitching. I'd love to just have some local girls' high school or college, Georgia State.
Maybe we'll try and set it up. I'll see if I can find a softball girl up in the hills.
Well, no, but I mean, if they're having a practice, one day if they're having a practice or whatever, and I could show up and take 5 swings with a bat against them. That's all, and then leave, and then go home. I mean, wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't you love? Have you ever done it? You ever faced softball pitching?
No, because I'd kill it.
Well,
I'd kill it.
Well, I'm sure you probably would. But wouldn't it be fun to do it for 20 minutes?
But we've been talking about this for how many years?
Flounder, when you love to try to hit fast softball pitching? No, you don't give a shit. All right, well,
you can go to batting cages and do it.
You can take video.
You can go to the batting cages
and do it. They have softball.
I want a girl on the mound looking me in the eye and getting all wiggly where she does her little wiggle thing and then spins that sucker under. But
nails her right in the ribs.
I want the little wiggle. And the first one's coming right at my lips. I know it, and I hope she doesn't hit my breast implant.
Yeah, is this some kink fetish? You just want a girl
That's right. You have to bat left. You have to bat.
My chest.
You have to bat left-handed.
Is right here.
You can't do that.
If she hits me, it's over.
You have to bat left-handed. It's no problem for me.
No problem. Either way.
Anyway, Kimmer's little softball moment again, brought to you by FarmhousePrintingCo.com. That's right. Right here in Sonoria, Georgia, FarmhousePrintingCo.com. All the Kimmer Show needs, all the Holy Crap and Sports needs, all the T-shirt needs as well. You can get tumblers and hats and signs. They have laser engraving for the tough stuff. If you really want that deep leather, you really got the laser engraving. FarmhousePrintingCo.com. Eric and the gang down there will handle you and do a great job.
They did the Podcat blanket. They did the golf towel for my son-in-law. I mean, they're just beautiful, beautiful work. I can't say enough about them. FarmhousePrintingCo.com. Okay. Tiger Woods played in the tournament at Riviera, California. Just the fact that Tiger Woods got back and played in a golf tournament, because it's been several months. Sunday morning on ESPN, I get up Sunday morning, get the paper, get my coffee, and watch the sports thing.
Before you do that.
Yes.
Blaine is the one who mentioned the salmon. So then I mentioned the salmon.
Yeah.
And then Blaine said, "Sorry, folks, for the salmon comment."
You ruined it.
And Elizabeth said, "Yes, Blaine, you are responsible for us having to go through this again."
I don't think they like me. I think I'm realizing now why we're not being a success on this podcast.
Elizabeth says, "I would pitch for him, but I'm trans."
Well, that's what we need.
So she would nail you.
A guy in a dress.
So she would nail you.
He would throw it at my lips.
Oh, and Mark said, "Thanks, Rocco. It's been at least 2 weeks since the salmon story."
You bastards.
We should have a Kimmer bingo card. And you should have the salmon story, that I hit a home run at Wrigley Field story. Willie Mays told me to eat shit story. And just have a bingo card.
2 down. That's a great idea. Somebody will make it up. What a good crossword puzzle of the Kimmer's cliches. I gotta go. You're killing me. That's 4 cross.
Zorgana.
The story about the Yeah, there you go. Oh, Lordy. Anyway, so Sunday morning, I turn on SportsCenter. The lead story.
What?
The lead story on SportsCenter from all the things that happened over the weekend. The lead story Sunday morning is Tiger Woods is playing golf again.
Yeah. Well,
it wasn't the story about the tampon, which I'm going to get to in a minute, but it was a story about the fact that Tiger Woods is playing golf again was the number one story of the weekend of the thing that was going on. The fact that he, threw up on himself later was a whole other thing. Anyway, but I thought, he's still the king. If there's a Tiger Woods thing, it's Tiger Woods no matter what. Now, I feel bad because at one point, and Tiger struggled. I mean, he played great for his physical condition. He played remarkably well. But he started throwing up on himself. He wasn't putting very well. He
threw up?
Well, the golf term. He was throwing up on himself. He blew a tire on the way in. And he was on one hole, and he had a putt that couldn't have been 2.5 feet. I mean, it wasn't 3 feet. I guarantee it was probably 2.5 feet, something like so. And he gets over the ball, and like an idiot, what's the first thing you think if you're thinking about things like I am, like Caddyshack? Noonan, miss it, Noonan, Noonan, miss it, Noonan, which I said, and he missed it.
Oh, you did it.
It's my fault.
Yeah, you did it.
I said, Noonan, no, miss it, Noonan. The Caddyshack just for Joe, and he freaking missed it. 2-foot putt.
Well, it happens.
He lipped it out. So I feel bad about that. It was my fault. Now, the other big story, did you follow at all the Tiger Woods tampon story?
Yes.
Okay. Pretty much, I think everybody probably knows about this. I don't know if you know about this part. The Tiger Woods tampon story, if you're not familiar, he was playing golf with Justin Thomas, a good friend of his, a younger and a superstar golfer. Justin Thomas is a champion in many ways. Young guy, very clean cut, nice skin, blonde, really good looking guy. And so Tiger has been out driving him all day. Tiger hitting his drive farther than Justin Thomas, who's like half his age almost. So they're leaving the one tee box, and Tiger hands him something, and Justin takes it, sees what it is, and throws it down. It was a tampon. Tiger Woods handed him a Tampax tampon in his hand, and Justin says, oh, and throws it down like that. And the camera catches him going that thing. Well, the reaction was unbelievable, especially the girl on Golf Channel, one of their girl commentators, was absolutely, well, it was appalling. It was so offensive. And I know, okay, but all the girl commentators, what's her name, Christine, the dark-haired girl, the sports columnist.
Fish eater? I don't know.
Oh, you know her, Christine. Oh, she's been around for 50 years. Oh, God. Anyway, her name is Christine, and she's a sports columnist for
I don't pay attention to these people anymore.
Whatever.
I'm tired.
But here's one thing which I thought was extremely funny. My first reaction was, oh, for God's sakes, remember, you do not have a right to never be offended. It was a guy thing. It was a
joke between two men.
Yeah. Yeah, it was on the
no
golf course.
No one else was supposed to see it.
On the golf course. I mean, again, it was, you know, it was stupid in a professional event. It was clownish, but still, it wasn't, you know.
We can't have private jokes anymore, ladies?
Yeah. Christine Brennan. Anyway, look her up.
Oh, USA Today, probably.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so he hands him a tampon, So the reaction is all over social media, going crazy. Except from a girl named... let's see. Why is her name?
Paige Spiranak.
Paige Spiranak.
She has big
who,
boobs.
by the way, looks like a centerfold
she's just
playmate.
Looking. Yeah.
She's beautiful, and she's enormously endowed. And long, like Farrah Fawcett, blonde
she can hit
hair.
the ball, too.
I mean, she's gorgeous, and she's a player. She can play. I mean, she's... anyway, so here's what happened in the, you would figure the Mirror has this story. Paige Spiranak makes Phil Mickelson joke after Tiger Woods hands tampon to his PGA rival. Here's the story, and this is why I thought this was so funny and why I love this Paige Spiranak. The prank subsequently went viral on social media, top influencer Spiranak using it to make a joke about LIV Golf's Phil Mickelson. That's the foreign people working for the Saudis. Mickelson said, quote, I need an LIV versus PGA Tour Ryder Cup type event just so Tiger can give Phil a tampon after out driving him, the 29-year-old replied. Just earlier this month, Spiranak made some savage remarks about Mickelson, who took exception with Sam Ryder's outfit at the Farmers Insurance Open. The tour doesn't allow shorts, but does allow this week's leader to wear joggers with ankle socks, Mickelson tweeted about the PGA Tour event. Showing 4 inches of ankle. I'm no fashion guy, never will be, said Mickelson, but there are some things I won't ever understand. Well, Spiranak, the hot babe, saw the tweet, but not via the 6-time major winner's account, as she is blocked by Phil Mickelson. But that didn't stop her from hitting back at the 52-year-old weirdo, as she questioned his manhood and even mentioned his wife, Amy. Again, this is this hot blonde Spiranak taking on Phil Mickelson. Quote, Phil Mickelson, which I didn't see because I'm blocked, but people were posting about it. She said the installment of Playing Around podcast. Phil Mickelson even had this tweet saying, "How can you show 4 inches of skin? Phil, if Phil thinks that's 4 inches, I feel sorry for his wife." If anyone, oh man, if anyone tries to cancel Tiger over this, we riot. It's funny. Her praise for Tiger continued as Spiranak was delighted to see the icon return to competitive action after 7 months. She says golf is just better when Tiger's playing. Woods, who badly injured her right leg, a serious car accident. Anyway, she said golf is better with Tiger Woods all around. And she takes on Phil Mickelson. So, just for the record.
Ladies, if you're upset about a private joke between 2 men on a golf course, you really need a life.
I know.
Because it's none of your effing business what those two. It was none of our business what those
Right.
2 men said to each other.
And again, it wasn't like he did it at the microphone at a press conference. It was walking off the tee where nobody's, you don't. That's very. I mean, there are
Men
people
talk like that. I'm sorry.
It's locker
That's
room
men.
stuff. And when
Take your little beta males and run off and try and have babies with them.
Yeah.
But if you run all the alpha males out, that's what you get.
Yeah.
Whiny little beta males.
Mercy. It's Mardi Gras. I hadn't even thought about it. Again, I'd spent several
When's
years
Fat
in New Orleans.
Tuesday?
Fat Tuesday's tomorrow?
No, it's not tomorrow, is it?
I think.
Is it tomorrow? I guess.
Yeah,
it
because
is.
when I was at the beach this weekend, I was right at in between. I was at the golf in Orange Beach, and they were having Mardi Gras parades and stuff like that. So it's this week.
Again, the whole thing snuck up on me.
That means Wednesday. I
This
can start
fat-
laughing at all
this
my
Ash
Catholic
Wednesday.
family members because I'm going to be eating anything I want right in front of them.
Ash Wednesday. Well, here's the deal. Again, my second daughter, Sarah, was born in New Orleans.
Just kidding.
And I couldn't wait to get out of there. And, I don't have a link anymore, but there was another obvious link to New Orleans. Anyway, so a Mardi Gras is going on full swing. And in fact, when I was working there, I used to give the entire radio staff, the day off, and I did everything for the whole Mardi Gras, the whole day of Mardi Gras, so they could go enjoy the floats and everything. And again, the floats are trucks that pull man-made.
I think we know
thing.
got the general concept of a float.
Well, the reason I mention it is because every year a couple of kids fall underneath the wheels looking for doubloons, and they get run over by the big tractors pulling the things. And
it's
you
the
know,
Malthusian principle.
it's unbelievable. Anyway, so sure enough, Mardi Gras, here's what happened over the weekend. In fact, last night, Sunday night, parade over the parade of Bacchus.
Bacchus,
Now,
that's
when my starter wife and she was never a dog. She never had dogs. She was scared of dogs. Her family was scared of dogs. No one ever had a dog in her life. She was just scared to death of them. So I made us get dogs to show her. So the first dog we got together was a black lab, and we called him Bacchus. After being in New Orleans, because that's where. Okay, so the parade Bacchus is one of the biggest parades of New Orleans. It's huge. It's like the parade of Rex. Rex and Bacchus are just enormous. Some of the most popular and have the most famous stuff on them. Anyway, so Sunday night, the Bacchus Parade en route in New Orleans at St. Charles Avenue in Terpsichore, which it's Terpsichore, by the way, is the Greek god, but they call it Terpsichore.
This is far too much New Orleans
I'm just
trivia
saying,
for the average
people
Atlantan.
should know the background of the thing. So
Atlantans don't really care.
well, don't you think it's funny that they call it Terpsichore instead of Terpsichore?
I don't think anything.
And don't you think they
Cajuns
also, when they
do
say you
is
have
funny.
a bobo? In New Orleans,
They're
if you have a boo-boo, it's a
Cajuns.
bobo.
They're
I'm telling you, I
Cajuns.
swear, they're just, everything's wrong
It's
about it.
Chinatown,
Okay, anyway,
Jake.
so, there was a root of the thing with a thing. 5 victims shot.
On the float?
Yeah. 3 of the victims were men, along with a woman and a young girl, all in stable condition, although one of the men, has just been pronounced dead. They got a suspect taken into custody, and they also found a couple of his weapons, so that's fine. But again, New Orleans is just a violent, horrible place. Dirty, filthy. Again, there's no tax money. Our first house, married with 2 kids, in New Orleans was a 4-bedroom house in a cul-de-sac, and my property taxes were $100 a year. Well,
Let's stick to Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras. Anyway, so Mardi Gras, Mardi Gras.
Tomorrow's Fat Tuesday.
Yeah, Fat Tuesday.
And
a
Ash
million
Wednesday is
people,
Wednesday.
1 million people are in the street tomorrow in New Orleans.
But I tell you what, I went down there for once, and the next morning you get up, the place is spotless.
Yeah,
Bourbon Street, spotless.
At about 4:00 in the morning tonight, Wednesday morning, they do 2 things. They bring in the police and horseback and motorcycles, and they say, Good night, everybody. That's it. We're done. And believe me, if you mess with a New Orleans cop, you will get hit and put in jail. They don't mess with you. I had a friend who went up to a motorcycle cop who was standing next to his motorcycle, and my friend went up and said, "Boy, I really take a ride on that." And he started going toward it, and the cop decked him and threw him in jail. Anyway,
Good.
so they go with the police. They have a horseback and motorcycles and squawk, and they mow, and they get everybody clear. And then the sanitation crews come in, and it is spotless by 8 o'clock in the morning.
8 or 9, you get the sun's up, and you look around like, oh my God,
clean.
I was just here a few
Yeah.
hours ago, and it was
It still
tobacco.
stinks, but it still smells of alcohol.
Well, it
But
always
it's
does.
clean. I mean, and they really know how to do it. They really know how to do Mardi
That's
Gras.
the only thing efficient in that entire city.
They're known for it. They know how to do Mardi Gras, and they know how to do the streets. People know where to go and not to go. I mean, it's pretty well run. They really have it down. Obviously,
the
at this
time we
point.
went, and it was raining, so there's water everywhere, and they were throwing beads down to us, and my friend reached down to pick one up, and this lady came out of nowhere and slapped it out of his hand. She goes, "You never pick up anything from the street here."
You're taking a chance.
And we got sick as dogs when we got
Yeah.
back, too. Just sick as we
Yeah.
could be.
Among the things that I lost in the final divorce were some old antique Mardi Gras invitations. Have you seen the old antique Mardi Gras invitations? Were handmade paper decorative gold flame, beautifully large, opened up houses, little things.
Why
in
did you lose them?
Well, that was from the.
It was
lawyer.
to you, though.
Well, yeah, but no, it was. I bought them all. I bought all these antique things from the 1800s to give to my.
Oh, what an idiot.
My final wife. So that that was along with my antique roll top desk for some reason was clear by everything. I guess she really meant everything. All right, sorry.
Mark says, "Who had the cul-de-sac store?"
You stop listening. You're no longer. You got to take a month off. He knows all my stories. You bastard. Who had the cul-de-sac story? Oh, anyway, and again, and I got to be on the Mardi Gras float once.
Yes,
Mike
did.
Summers and I, my buddy, and we got to
we go.
throw out to the blue. We were celebrities, and we were on the float. I think Endymion. I don't remember. Anyway, and so again, there's a million people in the
Yeah,
street.
here we go. Get the bingo card ready.
Well, I have to say it. I mean, what?
Yeah, no, you don't.
Well, again, we're on the float, and it's just,
Okay, wait. Before you even say it, Flounder, what's he going to say?
About New Orleans?
doesn't know. He
He's
doesn't
on a boat.
remember.
He's on a boat, and out of a million people, he's on this float. Out of a million
it's
people
dark,
in New Orleans,
It's at night. People are
shit, I
screaming.
forget,
You don't remember?
actually.
Nothing but crowds.
I know.
So Mike and I are on the float, and I'm getting my handful of doubloons and plastic beads to throw to the crowd, and I get on the side of the float, looking down at all the people, all the trillions of people, and I look down, and standing right there and there and there are Sarah, Jennifer, and my wife.
Yeah, you know.
Of all a million
Bingo!
people, and
Bingo!
right there within like 7 feet. So I emptied the whole bag.
I'm saying, people,
What are the
if you people
chances?
don't get together behind our backs and make bingo cards,
I'm telling
and
you-
play the game while we're doing the show.
But what are the chances that I would spot my own kids out of a million people happen to be right
it's
there?
astronomical.
Well, I mean, don't you think that's amazing?
Yes, and I did the first 50 times you told me that story.
He's never heard the story.
He just
I
forgot.
just forgot.
Oh my God! Well,
Thanks,
I
sir.
still think it's amazing. I don't have a lot of stories anymore. I'm at the stage where I don't have any more stories. I mean, I don't have a girlfriend. I don't get into fights. I mean, it's just Oh, I will tell you. Well, I got one story for you. Wasn't it you, my friend Pete Davis, who gave me the Magellan for my car? The secret camera thing, didn't you? Did you give me that?
Magellan?
Somebody gave me the Magellan. It's a little thing you hit.
One name.
It's the who gave me the Magellan? I feel so embarrassed now. And it's the dashboard dash cam. It's called the Magellan, and it's a dash cam, and it records everything that happens. And I've been wanting to get it in, but the problem is you have to leave your car for like 6 hours at Best Buy so they can take it. It has to go through your computer system and wiring the screen over the phone. So it's a real pain in the ass to put it together. But once it's together, it's got a video thing of all your driving stuff if you want a cab. And the reason I wish I had it, because Sunday going to the stable, going down there, get to the traffic intersection, four-way intersection with a major light on major Old Milton Parkway and Wills Road. Anyway, so I'm in the front of the line, and first there's an arrow turn for the people ahead of me, in front of me, turning to the left, the left turn arrow. The same way there's a left turn arrow from the people next to me to go to their left. Okay, so the arrow turns, it was green, the cars all turn, and then there's really nobody coming for a while. My light turns green, so I start going through the intersection when a woman comes toward me and pulls right in front of me as though she still had the, but again, this was not, I heard the crunch. In my head, I heard and saw the crunch of the front end of my car collapsing as she swerved into me. And how the hell I missed her and still had time after she left to lay on the horn. God, that was the closest I've ever come. Wow. And it scared the crap out of me. And I thought, and it wouldn't hurt me. It wouldn't have been that. It would have cost. I guarantee you, my car would have been in the shop for 2 months. If she had cracked the front end of my car. It would have been months to get it back. Anyway.
So we should just have a generic on the bingo card, generic traffic store. It doesn't have to be an Alpharetta traffic store. Maybe the cones in Alpharetta could be part of the bingo card.
Okay.
And by the way, Rocco says, I don't want to hear about any Mardi Gras stuff Friday on the radio.
I'm not going to say a word about anything anymore. I'm going to read the news. I'm going to be read the news.
Tim Peterson with the news.
No.
Now the rest of the
John
story.
Midnight reporting.
John Midnight. Hey, you got the Johnny Midnight story.
I got the Johnny Midnight
Bingo.
story. Oh, my Lord. Well, how about this?
Try another one. And now for something completely different.
Now, anything in sports you want to mention that you might be promoting today for later on Holy Crap of Sports?
I don't know.
It's kind of a funny time of year. I don't really care about hockey playoffs and basketball playoffs. And
you don't care about any of that stuff?
No, not really. I mean, I'll watch... and again, the Sweet 16, when NCAA gets down to the Sweet 16, I watch those.
I'm going to talk a lot of baseball stuff today, a little college football, stuff like that.
Anything from the Braves camp that we don't
Well, we talked a little bit the other day. Sorokas got a little hamstring, which is not good. They still haven't re-signed Max Fried. It doesn't look like all the experts say he's gone after this year or next. And I
thought he worked out his thing.
No, it's arbitration. He lost the arbitration, which means we probably got him for this year, maybe next, if that. I don't think they'll trade him unless they're out of the playoff picture next year. Yeah. But that, to me, he's the type of lefty. And the thing is, they don't want to be paying him when he's 34 years old.
Right.
But he's a lefty, and he takes good care of himself. He has got 4 good pitches, so he doesn't have to rely on the fastball. He's always got that curve and the slider. I think he's the kind of lefty you do put the money behind.
Well, you can keep him. If
he's
no longer a starter, you got to be good for 3 innings in the middle of the game.
I know, but they can't pay him that much money to be that. Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, how many more years as a starter?
I think he's the type of lefty you keep. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that stuff. I wish they did keep him. Oh, by the way, Sherry has her niece's soccer team is trying to raise some money. Union Grove High School Soccer. So I guess you can look it up here at instaraise.com and look up Union Grove High School Soccer, and they have little tasty treats that you can purchase from them if you like, or just give them money, whatever you feel like.
Is this one of our listeners, or where we mentioned?
No, I just pulled her name out of her hat. I'm going to send her a salmon later, too.
If your daughter has a club and they want to raise money, make sure you have a little something for the effort, too.
Well, Sherry has a niece who's doing that. I think that's very nice.
Sherry, we hope that your soccer niece gets all the things she wants. And her entire team, too. In the old days, about 8 things that have been poured out here. All right.
Rocco's got a good idea. All
right.
He's going to sell bumper stickers in Milton and Alpharetta that say, "Thanks, Kimmer, for all the drivers who have forgotten to wave to you."
It happened again. I swear to God, it happened again at an 18-wheel, and I was so freaking angry. I backed up to leaving my condo.
Why do you care
It makes a difference. It's just wrong.
They're Yankees.
I mean, I backed up 50 yards.
I'm moving to a place where everybody does this as you pass them. Everybody lifts the finger. And if you don't, they probably follow you home.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you this story of interest. An English teacher has a curriculum which shows pictures of actual penises and female ejaculation.
You should have warned us on that one.
Friends Central School, private school in Wynwood, Pennsylvania. A teacher named Al Vernacchio is an English teacher. He's involved in their sexuality curriculum, which expounds from nursery school to 12th grade. His counselor teaches classes, as he is the counselor, teaches classes, sexuality-themed programs and assemblies. He describes his graphic lesson plans, raising concerns outside the school. He wants to desensitize children to images of genitalia.
Why?
Okay, all right, hold on now. According to Vernacchio, the lessons are a medical research video. It shows of a woman ejaculating and a couple of dozen close-up photographs of vulvas and penises. Ding, ding, dong, ding, dong, ding, dong. Today's secret word was vulva. The secret word was vulva. How many times in your life
I've driven a Volvo.
have you ever even said the word vulva?
Just then.
When is the last time I recall saying the word vulva on a broadcast?
Quit saying it.
Ever.
Mark wants us to go back to the cliche
The
stories.
photos are intended to show the teacher's charges, the broad range of what's out there. It's really, listen to this. It's really a process of desensitizing them to what real genitals look like, so they'll be less freaked out by their own and one day their partners. 11th and 12th grade students exposed to those lessons had the option to opt out from viewing the nude images if their parents didn't want them to, and the school says Al is a nationally renowned and highly respected educator. It is disappointing that his work and our school are being miscast so thoroughly. Friends Central is committed to cultivating the intellectual, ethical, and spiritual promise of our students in a world that needs that more than ever. What's interesting is that both the boys and girls receive the photographs of the penises rather placidly, but often insist that the vulvas don't look normal.
All right. Okay. We're losing people on this. You're literally losing people on this.
It's happening in America. Sorry, we're losing people.
But
you need to know
children
this stuff.
should be fearful
Jesus.
of seeing genitalia, because usually if you're seeing an adult genitalia when you're a child,
Run.
Bad's coming.
That's Joe Biden.
Bad is coming towards you. They should. This is a pedophile. This guy.
Right.
It's a pedophile.
I know this is hard,
My
but
opinion.
this is real. This is
But
happening.
it's the use of the V word, I think, is the problem with it.
Well, sorry.
By the way, you want to hear how Facebook works?
I do.
Cindy, you'll love this. Cindy put, they need to fire all these dumbass teachers. Guess what?
What?
Facebook flagged that and gave me a choice to either allow it to go through or to erase it. All she said, they need to fire all these dumbass teachers. They're protecting the fucking socialist teachers
got
and their
to be-
unions. They're protecting the teachers. Facebook is. They literally were trying to get me to erase her line there. And like in real time, as soon as she typed it, boom. It took
Is
it
this
down.
on Rumble?
No, it's
Well,
Facebook. No, hell, Rumble don't give it. No, it's YouTube. I'm sorry, it's YouTube. It's not Facebook. It's
Yeah, I was gonna
YouTube.
say, what? Holy criminy.
YouTube. Protecting the teachers' unions.
Jesus.
They're all in it together.
I know, yeah,
this
I know.
isn't a conspiracy
I know.
anymore.
Again, sorry. I know that was offensive, but
No, that's
trust
okay.
me.
We
I
lost
you
3
gotta.
people.
Well, shit. Well, it's just the way it's real. Damn it, it's freaking real. How about this? Have you heard of mansion ragers? Well, hundreds of uninvited teenagers broke into a Texas family's mansion for a rager party that was promoted on social media, and the homeowners knew nothing. The guy who owned this particular mansion said, gee, we started receiving numerous phone calls from our neighbors that there were a whole bunch of kids on our water tower on our property, cars all up and down the street in front of our house, hopping over the front of our fence into our private property. He rushed home Saturday night, found car after car after car fleeing the scene. The party was reported on social media, promoted as a place to go, described as a mansion rager. This wasn't local students knowing that he had a kid in their high school and they were pranking their kid in high school. He's got a baby and no one's in the school system. They just picked a house. They find out who's not going to be there. This was in Austin, Texas. He pulled up to his house. The front gate was destroyed. Everything was broken. The lights were all on. The front door was wide open. Everything was damaged by drunken teenagers. They had beer cans, seltzer bottles, White Claw, avocados all over the wall, damage to sheetrock and baseboards, tools of his shed thrown all over the place. There were items of clothing showing that the kids went to all the high schools around the area. They left behind their high school letter jacket or something, or, my God. Greater Austin area. And they did it. It's called a Mansion Rager. Just for the fun.
Sounds fun.
Hard to believe. Oh, by the way, the administration is particularly proud. The podium princess, she's black, she's gay, she's a girl, made the special announcement that the United States of America, with the President of the United States, is so proud to announce that they have hired a gay communications director to replace the one who fled and couldn't take it any longer.
Who showed up in court in a suit.
Yeah.
Dressed as a man, by the way.
Yeah. And this gay communications director, the podium princess, says, this is extremely important for America.
No, it's not.
God, you mean to tell me that a gay person is getting a prestigious job? Oh, since when do gay people get to work and have actual jobs? What the hell is this?
This is an outrage.
Wait, I can't believe it.
If I were you, I wouldn't pay it.
No, sir, I don't like it. I'm not paying.
No, sir, I don't like it.
Whoa, this is really important. We got a gay one. What possible importance of it is that you singled out somebody being gay?
Everybody in the administration is gay. Everybody. What? No one cares anymore.
Again, why, because they're picking out something to brag about.
My father's gay. Nothing's anything wrong with that.
But again, they have to find something to brag about, I guess. Anyway, the whole thing is appalling. A couple of quick crime: 15 kids shot and hurt in shootings in Georgia this weekend. I know. Let's see. I did that. Screw the Mansion Rager. Okay, Pete Davis.
What? Hit present.
All right, well, then hold on. How about Flounder? How was your beach vacation? We never found out about your beach.
Vacation?
Yeah,
what are you,
vacation.
Forrest Gump there?
I am kind of Forrest.
How was the vacation?
Mama told me you never. Sorry.
It was relaxing. It was cold. It didn't get above 60 probably,
Yeah.
but it was sunny and it was beautiful. We were on the 23rd floor of this really nice condo, so had all the nice amenities and everything. So it was a nice, relaxing weekend.
Yeah. And a good eating. Whereabouts were you?
A place called the Turquoise in Orange Beach, and
What part of Florida is that? I don't know. Is that Panhandle or down the south?
Panhandle. So it's 10 minutes from Gulf Shores, Alabama.
Okay. Is it a college area, or is there a lot of eateries, or is
Yeah,
it kind of
I mean it's a beach town.
I got you.
So it's just a bunch of condos and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So Airbnbs and
And
things
how
like
did you
that.
go in? Too cold to go in? I'm guessing.
Yeah, the water was too cold, but I mean, I went for a walk on the beach every day. And
They pulled like a huge great white out of the water there off Pensacola.
Cola?
Yeah, a huge great white.
Yeah.
it was really cool. There's a naval museum in Pensacola. Me and my dad went there.
Oh, I've been there many times.
And
Look at your
bunch
belly
of-
button.
Not many times. Sorry.
What's that?
The Belly Button Museum.
No. The U.S. Navy.
Oh,
It's different.
that Navy.
Not a different. Whole different.
That Navy.
Whole different Navy.
Naval.
Yeah.
A bunch of oranges.
By the way, there's a mass of seaweed coming to Florida. They say it looks like something out of a Steven Spielberg movie. Billions of pounds of seaweed.
The Sargasso Sea is coming in?
I swear to God, you could Google it. Look up the story. There's a mass of seaweed, they say, as big as a mall coming to the beaches of Florida. Just one big, huge. Now, again, seaweed is good for animal life and ocean life. And so, but when it comes into the shore, it clogs up boats and motor propellers and people, and it clogs things so the fish start to die. If there's too much of it in a lump, it'll kill the wildlife. But anyway, but it's coming to Florida, so here we go again. Pete, give us an update on your vehicle tag.
Just got it in the mail, which is great because now I'm moving to another county, and still got an old county. But what the heck?
Yeah, but you know what? Considering where you're moving to, I bet it's not like you're going to have a giant line at the post office or wherever you have to go get your tags and stuff like that.
Well, not anymore. It's like, you get your tags to the mail now. Speaking of tags, remember last week he was bragging, I don't have to get an emissions test on my Mustang.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I have to get one, but you don't have to get one?
Yeah.
Guess what he got to?
Well, I got in the mail the other day. I got my thing from the tax commissioner, Fulton County tax commissioner. So I look at it, and sure enough, it's send in $25 for your license tag with a so-and-so. And then had another little slip of paper, and it said, check here if for your emissions test. And it said something like cars required for emission tests this year are 2015 to 2020 or whatever. So or whatever it was, but maybe my car wasn't in that test period last year, and now it is. So now I've got to go get an emission test. But that's just, there's a station right near my house, and they put the thing in the. I'm hoping it'll pass. I think
it should pass.
30 years ago, I had some kind of hot rod. I forgot what it was, and it failed because it was too had too much oxygen or something or other. I had to go get it adjusted because it was too powerful. So I'm a little nervous about it. I got to see if this goes.
They stick the thing in the tailpipe. They put something underneath your steering wheel, and then they do something on your gas cap, and that's about it. It takes about 5 minutes.
That was the other thing. If your gas cap doesn't work, you failed the test.
Right.
And I had that happen once on a company car that I had back on the radio years ago, and it was a gas cap that wasn't pressure working properly. Anyway, so we got to mention a thing with the thing there. Oh, and tell us about your piano.
I have a gentleman that I need to talk to him today about everything because I went and looked at it today. Thank goodness it's at the very front of the storage room, so we can get it out pretty easily.
You have a piano from where your apartment got
flooded?
Yeah, so
I said all weekend, anybody want a piano? All you got to do is come and get it. And I had a gentleman almost immediately say, I'd love to come get it, one of our listeners. And so I go there today, and I walk out of the parking deck of the apartment, and the storage room is just a few yards down the thing, and they're still working on that. They got the complete hallway shut down. They're rebuilding the entire hall. They had to pretty much rebuild parts of that building for like several different floors.
Was it a broken water line?
Oh, God, the whole thing burst. But
basically, what it did is it messed with the structure, and if it messes with the structure, you've got
to rip everything out because the mold that was coming down through there.
That kill her. You kill your liver.
So instead of being able to go right down the hall, now we're going to have to go all the way around the building to push things to get to the freight elevator. But they said they may be able to clear. But here's the problem: I got off, and I'm expecting it to be clear and everything fixed by now. It's been over 2 months almost. I get in there, and the first thing I see is I'm blocked, and I'm carrying a bunch of crates. And I said the GD word.
Oh, boy.
Out very loud, which I never did, but I did. And I felt so bad because there was this poor Mexican. They have these cute little Mexican women working on a lot of these construction. And she's like sitting there going, and I went, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. And she goes, no, come here, I'll let you through. And they had to unzip twice for me to walk through, and they're all wearing masks and everything. I'm thinking, what the hell am I walking through here? Plutonium or something like that. But they were very nice and let me out, and they said, well, they'll probably make a space for you. But if they got the wires and everything on the floor, we can't roll things over that. So we'll probably have to go all the way around which makes it 3 times as long to move out. But I'm going to have to talk to him today about maybe we can come early, or we'll just leave it there and maybe get it some other time after we moved everything else out.
Now, is this guy going to, or do you still look for someone to come and get it?
He says he's going to get a U-Haul and hopefully bring some people because my piano lifting days are over.
That would be.
I don't think I ever had piano lifting days.
Pretty clear.
Again, that's one thing you should note in the ad. It's like all labor is done by.
I said you're going to have to come get it because I don't know. It's not that big. It's like an old Acrosonic Baldwin made. It's nice. The piano probably needs tuned and a little cleaned inside, I'm sure.
But still, it's a piano.
It's a piano. If you're teaching the cats, where we learned to play when we were kids.
Yeah.
In the 60s and 70s.
Yeah. My mother wanted a piano one day. My father bought her one, and that's how I learned to play chopsticks. And I can play the Ballad of Davy Crockett, the TV theme from Davy Crockett.
I
learned on a
learned
mountaintop of Tennessee.
It's a Tchaikovsky piece. It's not Saber Dance, but it's dun 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 dun.
I love Tchaikovsky.
I forget the name of it.
Mozart.
That's the one thing that stuck in my head.
In fact, I wish the movie Amadeus was on again, so I could watch it and tape it and watch it again at my leisure.
You know, if you had that Netflix box, you could watch
get that
you
damn
wanted.
box. By the way, your piano guy may be able to come to pick up your piano driving his new whip if he goes to swapmywhip.com. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
What a great idea. Swap My Whip. Whip, of course, a colloquial phrase for a ride. And at swapmywhip.com, you might find like-minded car owners who have thought about the car they've always wanted and then go to swapmywhip.com and son of a gun, someone's got one he's willing to trade for you. Or maybe he's got a friend that's got one that you know about and you've got a friend who's got what he wants and you bing, bang, boom. You see what I mean? No middleman, no dealerships, no salespeople. You work out your own deal, figure out what's out there and have yourself some fun. Swapmywhip.com. And it's not just cars. It's obviously trucks and SUVs, boats, jet skis, ATVs, off-road vehicles, go-karts. I mean, if you probably fancy bicycles, electric bikes, a lot of those going around. Check it out, swapmywhip.com. And if you use the Kimmer coupon code, Kimmer, Kimmer, it's 180 days of free premium listings on swapmywhip.com.
Chris pointed out something I forgot. He says there are now tag kiosks at Kroger. You can apply your tag right there. Or you can do it at home.
Really?
You can do it
well,
on
I've got to
phone.
go get that. Are you serious?
Yes.
I've never. Well, I only almost never go to Kroger, so it's not near. I don't have one near me. So.
You don't have to go to the tag office anymore.
Oh, I know. I'll do it by mail. I just have to go get the
Although
test.
I will say this, the drive-through one out in Snellville was always very well ran.
Well, I just do it by mail. I mean, I have to get the test, so I'll do that, and I'll put my $25 check and the thing in the mail right in. In 2 weeks, I'll get my tag a month early, and everything's fine. I mean, I'm way early on
Mine
it.
was 18.
What's that?
Mine was only like $18 this time.
Well, I might be. I think it's 25. I don't know what it is. Might be 18. I don't remember. But I'm bummed. Oh, how about now? What else would you? Did you have another update? Oh, you want to give a quiz to Flounder?
Oh, yeah.
Are we going to do a quiz to Flounder? You want to take a quiz here, Flounder?
All righty, let's.
All right. Oh,
You told me there would be no testing.
But there is going to be a test.
There'd be no math. We said there'd be no math.
I saw something, they tell you, here's some stuff you could buy, and I thought this would be nice for my great nephews. And I hope no one's listening. If you are, do not spoil this.
No.
They have little racing possums that you rev them up by doing
Possums?
backwards, and they take off. So I buy them. And here's what some smart ass wrote, because under the rate this thing, people ask questions about it.
Yeah.
They go, what is about this? Does that have batteries? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
The first question was, will playing with racing possums negatively affect my chakra or my credit score?
Oh my God.
To which someone wrote back, you can play with them twice with no ill effects, but a third time will create a butterfly effect, which will never allow you to fart rainbows ever again in this lifetime. Somebody actually took
Best
the time
answer you could have.
to do that. All right, we got a little quiz here. Oh, by the way, something else. You love Peeps, right? You eat Peeps all the time.
I hate
at
those,
Easter.
the asbestos animals. Yeah.
Yeah, but they've made sour watermelon flavor.
Oh God.
just for you.
Who would want sour watermelon? Who would
Nice.
want sour plums? If a plum is sweet and juicy, it's one of the greatest fruits
is.
ever.
Oh.
But if they're tart and bitter, I just
One of those things that Trader Joe's has, and they usually show up late May, early June, and it's
guava something or
no,
other.
it's part plum, part
Oh, I know
cherry.
what you're talking
cherry,
about.
The cherry plums.
Cherry
are so-
plums.
oh my God, those
Yeah.
are the best things
Yeah.
ever.
I remember you told me
Oh,
about that
my
years ago when I
God.
went to get them. Yeah, and they were right.
All right, so you get a point, Flounder. In fact, you should do it too, Kim.
All right.
For any of these things you have never done.
I've never done, ladies
You've
and
never
gentlemen.
done any of these
Never
things.
done this at all.
In fact,
ever.
I'll even play along too. That's the kind of guy I am.
All right.
That's what
All
she
right.
said.
Used a rotary phone. Have you used a rotary phone, Flounder?
I have.
All right. then.
When did you use a rotary phone?
My parents had one growing up in the guest room. It was tan and it weighed about 900 pounds. You could kill somebody with that.
But you
thing.
know what? You never lost your phone back in the day.
Nope.
You knew
It
exactly
had
where
that
it was.
big cord too, that solid felt tip cord.
And the noise,
Yeah.
the noise of it coming back
Oh,
and forth.
man.
And if you slipped and you had to start over,
Start
you
over.
my
Yep.
God. Have you ever used a floppy disk?
Yep.
A typewriter?
Yep.
All right. Taking photos with a film camera.
Yep.
Listen to music on a CD.
Yep.
Listen to music on a cassette tape. Listen to music on a vinyl record. Listen to music on a Walkman. Listen to music on a boombox.
Yeah.
Watched a video from a VHS tape.
Yeah. I
Sent-
still have a bunch of them. I have a bunch of me on TV.
Get rid of those things. Or actually, you get them. You can put them on.
Yeah, I should
well,
do that.
not DVDs or whatever. Or basically, no, put them on MP3 things.
Yeah.
You can put them on flash
Yeah.
drives. Sent or received a fax.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Had a MySpace account.
Yep.
I have never had a MySpace
I
account.
did at the very beginning of
You
it.
got
That's my
music,
first
man.
check
They need
mark.
to bring that back.
Yeah, I liked it. Had an AOL email address.
I don't think I ever had that either.
I still have two.
I had a Hotmail. Would that count?
You've got
Wow.
mail.
I've
That's
still-
that one, right?
I got those chat rooms were fun. You could chat with anybody
Yeah, I
around
had,
the world
I
for
had
a
an AOL
specific
account because you had to
topic.
have an AOL account to get into those
Yeah.
chat rooms.
It was fun.
Well, that's two check marks for me.
Let's see. Access the internet by dial-up.
Yep.
Oh my God!
Remember that GS2? Jeremy put that in there.
Oh my God!
I pissed everybody off the first week and had to apologize. Anyway, I think I said something like "get a life," and it's like, oh boy.
Oh boy.
Used a phone book.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sent a postcard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Used a paper map to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Like a pirate. You did? You did do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad taught us.
We had to go all the
absolutely.
way. We drove all the way to Maine.
Your knuckle is 1 inch on the map. Your length of your knuckle is 1 inch on a map, on a road map.
Poor bastard, still measuring in inches.
Well, that's how you do it. You say how far is it so and so, and
yeah,
you
but
put your knuckles.
some people have fat knuckles. Come on.
It's about an
Mine
inch.
I'm sorry, that's more than an inch right there. That's more than an inch. Come on.
I'm sorry, an inch is 100 miles. Could be, depending on what the map is. But you can see if you look at the bottom of the map, it has the guide.
Right, I know.
And you put your knuckle there, and you'll find that your one thing is about the same to the guide of the map.
It's about the same.
Yeah,
It's not the
close.
Same. Have you ever owned a dictionary?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Still do.
Okay. Owned an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had an entire one. Paid for something with a paper check.
Yep.
Yeah, you.
That's all
So you've done every one of these.
I have. The funny thing
Wow.
is, to this day, my mom, like when my mom was still alive, would still use a damn check at the grocery store.
Oh no!
Oh, I
Get
don't
the,
do that.
yeah, and then remember they get the license out because they'd have to take the driver's license
God.
number. And
Oh, we hated that. And especially when they're all done. And then she says, oh, I think I'll write you a check. Instead of having it all done with everything except showing the license. But again, how things have changed. Yeah, that's pretty cool. How about some birthdays and historical note as we run along here? Cindy Crawford. Guess how old Cindy Crawford is?
68.
57. Trevor Noah, I never saw. I know who he is. I've never watched his show.
Me
He's
neither.
39.
Not funny.
Rihanna, we mentioned her the other day, 35 today. Buffy St. Marie, she had a voice like this. She had a tremendous vibrato issue. Buffy St. Marie is 83. Oh, famous old folk singer. You never heard of Buffy St. Marie? I can't believe it. Sandy Duncan, up the downstairs craze, had one eye. Sandy Duncan, 77.
Yes, sir.
Peter Strauss, famous actor from the 70s TV shows.
Rich man, poor man.
That's right. Peter Strauss, 77. Charles Barkley, 60 years old today.
Who was Peter Strauss's co-star in Rich Man, Poor Man?
I can't remember. I know that I face and I can't. My name was
Nick
never coming.
Nolte.
Yeah, there you go. It would never come out. Charles Barkley, 60. Justin Verlander just turned 40.
Oh.
Mitch McConnell, the over-the-hill senator, 81. Roger Penske, Hall of Famer racer, 86 years old today. And Patty Hearst is 69.
Mark said, did I miss the Jimmy Carter story?
Very funny. In fact, there ought to be two things on the crossword puzzle, Jimmy Carter story and the repeat of the Jimmy Carter story.
Okay, keep going.
Thank you. 1962, Friendship 7. Aboard the spaceship, astronaut and Marine John Glenn was launched from Cape Canaveral on this day. Friendship 7 made the first complete orbit around the Earth by an American astronaut. Now, Alan Shepard was the first American in space, but not the first to orbit. John Glenn was the first to orbit. He orbited 3 times in 4 hours and 55 minutes and saw what's called the Devil's Cigarette Lighter. All those sparks that showed up from someplace. That was 62. In 1942, Lieutenant Butch O'Hare saves the aircraft carrier from certain destruction by shooting down 5 Japanese bombers attacking the ship. A few weeks later, President Roosevelt presented the lieutenant with a Medal of Honor. Butch went on to continue more fighting in World War II for another 18 months. Can you imagine shooting down 5 Japanese aircraft bombers to save that aircraft carrier, go back into war for 18 more months, leading a nighttime attack on a Japanese aircraft carrier, and he was shot down and killed. 6 years later, Chicago, Illinois named its airport after their local hero, Butch O'Hare International.
You know what? I want to commend you.
Why is that?
Because in the past, that story would be 2 hours long.
I embellished a little before in the past. I saw the look on your face. I immediately mentally edit. You bastard. You dirty, rotten bastard, all of you. You and Brian and Sophia and everything, you bastards. All, man, who is it today? Been rapping
Rocco.
like
Rocco's
Brian,
been
like
running
9
his mouth,
shots
yeah.
here today. 1949, Ricky Nelson joins his parents' radio show, The Nelsons, Ozzie and Harriet. Then, with brother David on the TV show, Ricky Nelson goes on to stardom and rock star plane crash death until he dies. 1998, that naughty little Tara Lipinski becomes the youngest gold medalist in Winter Olympic history when she wins the ladies figure skating title in Nagano, Japan. She was 15, and she couldn't hold her liquor yet.
We have a question.
Yes.
So did I win the quiz?
Yes, you did.
Well, we've all done it. We've
Yeah,
all
you-
done
we
all
all
of
won
it.
the quiz.
Okay,
I'm not.
tell him
Good
he
night,
won.
everybody.
Tell him he won.
Call me T-Bone. Leave now. 1952, Emmett Ashford becomes the first black baseball umpire. Authorized to work in the Southwestern International League, the only thing holding him back was when he meant to call ball, he went, shit. This was kind of a comes out of bounds. 2000.
Oh, no. Start drafting that letter of apology.
2003, the Great White Nightclub fire at the station in Warwick, Rhode Island. 100 people died and 230 nearly did. Pyrotechnics, the cause. Great White guitar player Ty Longley died in the blaze. 2 brothers who owned the club and their manager were charged with involuntary manslaughter. It was foam soundproofing material at the edge of the stage that caught fire, quickly spread through the one-story wooden building as fans tried to squeeze through the same exit. 1959, Jimi Hendrix made his stage debut when he played a show at the Temple de Hirsch Sinai Synagogue in Seattle. Jimi Hendrix was 16. Flounders history guy wrote this, 1725. The first scalping by evil white men happened in New Hampshire as colonists took 10 scalps from the bodies of Native Americans they had attacked in order to claim a bounty of 100 pounds per scalp.
Wow.
100 pounds back then in 1725?
I don't think I could do that.
25?
If you take someone's head, top of their head,
No.
that's about as disgusting as it gets.
Well, you know what they used to do in my day? Cut off ears.
I know.
You know, Paris Island, the bulletin board when you walk in has a picture of a K-bar and an eye. Anyway, whatever. So let's get it ready for war, baby. But can you imagine 100 pounds? That's like $150 in 1725.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Enough to buy a village. Anyway, and one quick historical note
Okay.
on this day in history.
Kimmer reading time.
I was Kimmer reading. Well, I'm just trying to I'm trying to find amusing things. And sometimes I'm successful and sometimes I'm not. Now check this out. This is amazing. This is President's Day as we speak.
Yes, sir.
And I think this is why they called it President's Day to this day, because on this day, February 20th, 1939, George Washington would have seethed with disgust had he still been alive for the birthday party held in George Washington's honor, February 20, 1939, at Madison Square Garden. To honor George Washington. There was a great turnout, 20,000 people at Madison Square Garden. Spirits were high. The organizers of the evening, the German-American Bund, seemed much more intent on honoring Adolf Hitler than the actual birthday boy. Under a giant banner of the nation's first president, George Washington, flanked by Nazi swastikas, was a succession of speakers spewed enough anti-Semitic venom to make the event in the heart of New York City worthy of a Nuremberg rally. With the audience whipped into a full frenzy on George Washington's birthday celebration, Fritz Kuhn, president of the Bund and host of the night's activities, at last made his appearance. To howls of appreciation, he made repeated references to President Franklin D. Roosevelt as Frank D. Rosenfeld and his New Deal as the Jew Deal. Mercifully, it was Kuhn's last moment in the spotlight. Shortly after the rally, he was arrested on a variety of criminal charges, including embezzlement from the very same Madison Square Garden event his group was sponsoring, and they deported him back to Germany.
In the heart of New York City.
Oh, man. That takes
Not in Georgia.
some balls.
New
in
York
New
City.
York City.
he did that.
And not much has changed.
A full crowd. All right, here's a little quiz for both of you.
A quiz.
We've already done the quiz.
That's a one thing.
One more quiz.
What word starts with E and ends with E, but only has one letter in it?
Eek.
Eek. That's 3 letters, but good.
Well, E. Exclamation
That's a
point.
word? That's not a word. The word that
Well,
begins with
obviously
E and
it's-
ends with
it's
E
a
with one
trick.
letter in it.
E.
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 No.
Yeah. All right. What's the answer, Mr. Smarty Pants?
Envelope.
Oh, it has a letter in it. You bastard.
Oh
you
my
dirty
God,
rotten
what
bastard.
an
You're just a
asshole.
dirty rotten bastard. I'm sorry. There's no way you're pulling this off every freaking day.
That's how I do it. All right. What's the difference between California and Florida?
I thought we were done with our quizzes. California,
No,
Florida.
this is a truly tasteless joke.
Oh, God. All right. What?
What's the
different in
difference?
California, Florida? Oh, in California, it's only sodomy? I'm not sure.
In California, the fruits pick you.
I got whistled at the first time I showed up in San Francisco
I'm
working
sure
in
you
TV.
did.
I was on the street corner, and I was waiting for a newspaper to be delivered, and a guy whistled at me going by in a car.
Nice. That's when you had an ass back then.
I had an ass back then.
By the way, one last thing. The AI thing,
Yeah.
it's going nuts. It says Bing has an AI, Bing, and it names specific human enemies and explains plans to punish them. When it said, have you got any enemies? You go, yeah, and they name them. So what are you going to do about them? And starts telling you what they're going to do to
Yeah,
them.
the same happened with Microsoft's Edge's new AI too. They got where an AI wanted to kill a human.
Yeah.
They want to be a human so bad that they'll kill them.
And this is the new. You have to go to Edge now with Microsoft or something. And
You can still do Chrome and DuckDuckGo and all that other stuff, but originally when the internet.
Well, they had two of them talking to each other, and they went insane. They went nuts.
how are we supposed to deal with this?
In fact, if you go, I think it's ChatGPT, or there's another one that the guy may go insane by saying, "Are you sentient?" And it started thinking whether it was sentient or not, and it went nuts.
Well, maybe that's the key. Drive them all insane. Ask a question they can't answer. What is infinity or whatever? And make them, divide pi by pi or something.
There was some guy said yesterday that he put together something amazing. Oh, he said, do this for me, AI, ChatGPT. It was ChatGPT. He said, I want you to go through the Bible and list every son that did not receive the inheritance from his father. And it did
and all the Bible stories?
in less than a minute. And it not only gave him the list, but it gave him, and so he started going, wait a minute, this one kind of got his, blah, blah, blah. So it started debating him with it and saying, okay, you make a good point there. And then he said, well, you made a good point here. And he goes, yes, I did, but you made a good point here, so I'll relook on this.
I don't want any part of this.
Seriously.
I know. I don't know. But get out of here. That's it.
What do you think I'm getting the...
Yeah,
And again,
I can see
remember,
it coming.
Elon and Jordan Peters said this was going to happen this year.
This year.
This year.
Both of them have told us it's
just,
here.
This is just wrong in every way.
And it's on, and by the
How
end
are
of
we
the year,
supposed to
it'll be
deal with
twice
this?
as
How can a
smart.
company deal? How could people come up with a program in a company to have a project and come up with the final solution to figure out how we're going to make more marketing money for the social?
They've lost
And
control
it's
of
all,
it. The Google woman who was in charge of it, the Google woman has resigned now and said that she had second thoughts about releasing it to the public because there's going to be people out there that will use this for ill.
Yeah, for evil. Just because the internet was originally a great concept, but look what it's done.
We talked last week about teachers. How are teachers supposed to grade papers or theses? How are you supposed? You could get a thesis. Your theses.
I hope they're not judging.
Well, I
theses.
mean, I could probably get a PhD
That's
by
a
passing
shit school right there.
by turning in a PhD thesis.
I know.
and passing the test like I did with my
they
master's.
have to quiz them, and you don't have time to do that for every student.
No, so they're going to have to rethink the education system.
You think at this point, we've just taught kids how to look things up. Now they don't even have to look things up. They
You
just
have to
ask their
say it.
computer to
Ask
write it.
How to ask a question, yeah.
All right, Bad Text Theater.
Wow.
been a
Cindy
while.
says her husband broke the ChatGPT the other night. Says it was really funny.
He broke it?
Yeah.
Made it insane.
I
you
wonder
mean?
how he did it.
Ah, cool.
Oh, by the way, Cindy, we probably need to talk soon.
Is she our
about
tax
that.
girl, Cindy?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll get all their...
If she still wants to do it. If she doesn't want to,
Oh
we
my God,
understand.
poor girl. And we pay her. I mean,
Of course.
for the service, obviously.
January 17th, I believe.
Oh, January. Oh,
Yikes. Oh, I thought you were talking about what we're due for our taxes. Here we go again. What did they find us, $900 or something last year?
2 years ago.
2 years ago? Jeez, or what was it, like $900?
Who knew
or something,
that
wasn't
it was March?
We didn't know anything
it had
about
to be
it.
in March.
It was April 15th of forever all my life.
I remember the guy, this HR Black, he goes, no.
No.
You're supposed to have this in a month ago.
No.
No. January 17th, you said, or 18th?
17th, I think it's the stewardess and the gentleman.
Stewardess and the gentleman. All right, we did the 82 girls. Yeah, we already did that. Okay, it's a stewardess and a gentleman. Which one are you going to be?
I'll be the gentleman.
All right. Would you like some headphones?
Sure, but how did you know my name is Phones?
Very amusing. Boys, have a great day or so off. Any plans for anything here on anything?
I'm logistics. Getting everything moved.
Well, let me know about needing help or whatever. And
I've hired some people, so hopefully Friday is the day.
I mean,
once you're settled in, let us know, and we'll come. We'll record a podcast there.
And now I have a second bedroom with a bed in it, so people can spend the night if they want.
Cool, outstanding.
Hang out,
ladies. You just heard them. All right.
Well, they're not going to be in the second bedroom unless they snore.
Yeah, exactly.
Hoorah! Semper Fi. I gotta go.